All right, everybody, congratulations and welcome to the United Kingdom's National Basic 5 Virtual Summit. My name is Don Martin, and I am the director of the UK GMTSS, and I am excited to be here with each and every one of you today for a very special National Basic 5 Virtual Summit with a lot of incredible guests that are going to be contributing to today's session. I do want to let you guys know that today was the original date for the UK National Conference, the United Kingdom National Conference. It would have been the second annual UK National Conference. And of course, with the current pandemic and situation, I wish everyone is good health, staying well, staying safe. And because of that, obviously, the UK National Conference has been rescheduled into November. And all those tickets that were out there for that are now applicable to the new date. We'll also have a new challenge that will be posted by tomorrow. So we're excited for each and every one of you to get started working at that. And I want to really encourage each and every one of you to take this business at its full potential right now, because we can help so many people. But I want to welcome you, congratulate you, thank you for being on, and I want to thank all of our panelists. You're going to hear from 3 different panels today. By the way, today not only is a virtual Basic 5 Summit, but it also is a certified Basic 5. We're going to cover enough information where this will count for your Basic 5 certification as well, if you're listening in and watching in. I want to most importantly invite and welcome all guests and customers that are on, because I know a lot of people are here evaluating our business and attending this virtual Basic 5 Summit. So I want to welcome you and congratulate you for being here and tell you you're going to learn a lot today. But I think the most important thing you're going to learn is how powerful this model is for so many people. And this could be a really good fit for yourself or someone you know, whether it be the business and also many of the products in this current situation could have a lot of benefit for people's lives for sure. So thank you for being on. My job is just to do a quick introduction before we get to our first panel, which is our UK Emerging Leaders panel. And then we're just going to have a Q&A. I'm going to introduce each one of our panelists here momentarily for the first panel. But I want to give you a little background really quickly before we get started. And I want to welcome you first and foremost. And I want to let you know that life is all about timing. I mean, you all took the time today on a Saturday afternoon in the UK, a Saturday morning. Some people are attending from the US because we have a very incredible synergy between the US and the UK when it comes down to building this business and around the world, really. But life is all about timing. And our business from a situational and positional standpoint right now is in a position where we can help so many people. We need people need what we have now more than ever. And there's 4 primary reasons for that. And I just want to share this as we get started here. Our business, first of all, Market UK, we're a multi-billion-pound company, a global company. We operate business in 9 different countries and expanding rapidly. We have a continually growing organization and a fast-growing organization across the UK right now. We hit stride in the last 6 months. I'm going to highlight some of those things right now. But when it comes down to what we offer from a consumer or a small entrepreneur standpoint, we have 4 things that people really need in a situation like we're at right now, where people are at home, or they're trying to stay safe, they're trying to keep their families healthy, they're trying to keep themselves healthy, but they're also trying to survive from a financial standpoint. We have 4 things that everybody seems to want right now. And there's a reason that the timing is so imperative and why we're here. The first thing, when it comes down to the 4 things that I think we can help people most, and this is all about helping people, guys. This is not about profiteering at all off of what's going on, but it's a matter of coming from the heart and helping people with things they need most. And when you think about what our business offers, and you'll see this as we go through our panels today, is 4 primary things. The first thing we have is a way to help people shop for themselves from home, from the comfort of their home and from the safety of their home. That's the first thing. We have a unique opportunity for people to shop for themselves, from home, and create the best value out there when it comes down to converting your spending into home purchases, have things delivered to your home, but also converting that into some kind of an income, right? So that's the first thing we offer that everybody's looking for, a way to shop from home and get the best bang for their quid. I'm going to call it. Becca, is that fair? The best amount for their cost spend. That's number one. The second thing we can offer people is the way to get access to products and services that in a lot of places around the world are hard to find. Products and services that are in the world of, say, supplementation, that offer benefits to immune health, where it comes from, vitamin D, vitamin C, probiotics, antioxidants, those type of things, where there's shown a lot of research that shows a lot of benefit and value to immune health. And a lot of those things you can't find in the stores. They're sold out, it seems to be everywhere, because people realize that they want to take their health more seriously now than ever before. We have access to get those products in people's hands and at the highest quality because of our brokerage standpoint. That's the second thing. Third thing we offer is a way for people to start a business right now and bridge a financial gap, because the situation they're in might not be ideal. A lot of people are in dire need to be able to work from home right now. And we can teach people how to take our business, work from home, and create an instant revenue source, meaning a way to make money starting the day they begin, like right now, and earn income to help bridge a financial gap. And that's a third thing that we offer. And I can't tell you how powerful that is, especially right now, where every extra bit of income makes a massive difference. And that's the third thing we can offer. And then the fourth thing we can offer is a residual income. It's a way to create a residual income stream by building a business now, so the next challenge in life that comes, you're financially prepared for it. People are ready for it. See, here's the good news and the bad news, right? The good news is this situation we're in shall pass. In the next few months or whatever it is, I don't know. It's different everywhere. But this will pass, and we'll be back to normal eventually. But that's the good news. And we'll regular back, and people be back to work and all that kind of stuff. But here's the bad news. The bad news is this isn't the first challenge of our life, and it's also not the last one. And I think this situation was a massive wake-up call for people, because it seemed like everybody's job was so secure and the economy on a global scale was so great. And no one really realized that maybe they needed a backup plan until this situation, right, was a big, giant wake-up call. And it punched people, in the gut. And people realized that it was a situation that people needed to fix. And the bottom line is, you need a residual income before. You can't build a residual income when you need it. You have to build a residual income before you need it, right, Tom? And that's really what it's all about. So we can help people build something. So when the next challenge, it might not be a giant global pandemic type challenge. That's hopefully this is the first and last time that happens in any of our lives, right? But it might be a situation you have to help a friend or a family member, right? Or do something for yourself that kind of takes you away from the work realm so you can handle something in your life. And how great would it be to have money taken care of so you can focus on the challenge or issue at hand, or focus on living instead of having to worry about money the whole time, worrying about cash flow and income. So that's the fourth thing we offer, helping people to create. And I think now is the best time than ever to build something like that. So anybody who needs benefit, any of those four situations, we have, in my opinion, the most powerful opportunity to be able to do those four things out there in the world today, bar none. And I hope you see that as we go forward. But share that with people. Let people know that's what's going on. So I want you to remember, this must come from the heart, though. We're in the business of serving others in their time of need. And it's so funny, a lot of people say we're growing faster now than ever before, simply because when people need help, we can help more people. Does that make sense? And our company was built as a solutions-oriented company. Not to profit off of challenges, but to create a business that can help more people when they need help. We are a solutions-oriented business, and it's all about serving others in their time of need, because it's going to pass too, and people are going to remember who took care of them. Not the people who try to profit from them, but the people who took care of them and helped them when they needed help the most, whether it be from product, from a business product, or a business, or an income standpoint. That's our job, and that's what it's all about. It must come from the heart, and that's what we are all about with our company. Now, real quick highlight before we get into our first panel. Why is the UK great for our business, first and foremost? Well, a lot of people aren't aware of this. we are a direct sales type of model, but we are the complete, I would say, solution to the problems that come from that industry. But a lot of people don't know how big this opportunity really is and how many people we can help there. Well, a lot of people don't. Well, there's a few things I want to highlight. Number one, 34% of the British people have bought through a direct selling company. 34%, more than 1/3 of the people in the country buy through direct selling businesses, whether it be their friend, their family, their relative, or they just became a part of it themselves. That's the first thing. If you notice here, the UK is 7th in the world in revenue based through a direct selling type of model. 7th in the world, guys. And that just shows you how big and how possible it is, because the population is not 7th in the world, but the number of people that are participating in working from home opportunities is so huge. You can see just in the UK, over 563,000 people are actively participating in working from home models. This shows you this, and if you notice, of the global base of business that's in this whole industry, this is from the World Federation of the Direct Selling Association, Europe is 21%, and the UK is a gateway to Europe for shop.com as well. But if you notice here, your opportunity to build is in more than 50% of the world, and a lot of Asia Pacific countries are also a part of our model too. But with most of the people that are on here, more than 50% of the total world opportunity is between Europe and the Americas. And it's a really important thing to realize how big this model and opportunity is for you guys. Now, here's the cool thing. We all identified this. And in the last 6 months, I have to tell you, and big, a huge kudos and congratulations to the UK market, because since September 2019, the market has grown 60% in base unfranchised owners. 60%. You're talking about exponential growth annually. And I actually think this is going to continue to compound and move up. The 60% market growth in the last, 5 months, 6 months, 7 months, we're going to be well in excess of 100. I wouldn't be surprised if we're 200+%, 300% by the end of 12 months from September. And that's because we are growing and helping people more than ever. Now, remember, we're a brand new company when you think about it. It's the newest market for Market America and global in the world is UK. So we are pioneers, and I want to highlight that when you're a pioneer and you create massive growth like we had over the last 6 months, there's going to be growing pains. You guys are the pioneers. Growing pains, things like products go out of stock quick because it can only get here. Plus, you add how fast we're growing to the challenge of getting product moved around, logistical problems. The reality of it is that part of being a pioneer. But I got to share with you guys something really important. We are a part of the solution to so many people. And although there was a little gap in time, there was like a month and a half there or whatever, that we were having challenges, it's fixed. It's because we are a part of the solution. But remember, when you're a pioneer, you grow and you can't grow without those situations. So just keep in mind, all the product, right, that we're tough to get, they're all back in stock now. We're on a mission. Everything's being serviced properly. And this company is doing everything they can to help the most people service their customers, because a lot of our products are deemed essential in different countries. And I'm sure it is UK as well, because the products are still being shipped. But the reality of it is we have an opportunity like none other. And we are together leading from the front and growing with the model. And you could talk to any pioneer from any country that the Market America, Market UK family has been in. We all went through the same things because we have to build the foundation. Right, Tom? Right, Bonnie? That's really what it's all about. And you guys are a part of history right now, because when we look back 2 years, 3 years, 4 years from now, you're going to see some magic things that you were a part of, that solutions were created with your help and with your guidance that literally helped shape thousands of people's lives moving forward. That's the uniqueness about being a pioneer. So what's your vision for the UK? Guys, things haven't changed. We talked about this 6 months ago, and it's happening. And I got to tell you, here we go. We country of the year for 2020. Now, obviously, we don't know what's going to happen with the convention yet. We don't know the next time we're going to get together from a global standpoint but that's still the goal. And I look at it right now as I'm talking about for the entire year 2020, right? We started September, October, we have massive growth. We have all through, we got another 6-7 months. And I'm going to tell you guys something. You have the opportunity to set the pace for every country in this community around the world. And how are we going to do that? With empowerment and unification. We're unifying everybody, not only in the UK, but also around the world to help and work with you guys to help you build businesses internationally and people build business there. And here's a really cool thing. I don't know if you guys saw this. The last highlight I want to make, from the growth that started September, it was just a month or two ago that they increased commissions. How many people saw that? You guys excited about that, right? The commissions used to be at the 1,200, 2,400, 3,600, 5,000 point threshold. It used to be 170 pounds, 170 pounds, 170 pounds. And I don't even remember because it wasn't 340, I think, right? Now it went from 170 to 230. You're talking about over a 30% increase in commissions for the same amount of work and volume that you guys were doing then, to saturate the market and help you guys earn more money faster. We worked our butts off for the year to make this happen. And now it's a reality. And now it's time to take advantage and help more people, So that's really what it's all about. And the question for you is, where are you going to fit in? Where are you going to fit in? And it's where you fit in that matters most. What are you going to do with it? And we're going to talk about that in a second, right? So that's the little scenario. You're where you fit in is going to be decided by what you do starting today. Now, here's the thing. As I wrap up this and move to our first panel, you guys have to realize a few things. Number one, it doesn't matter how long you've been a partner or if you're not a partner yet. It doesn't matter if you've been around a few years or you just got started. It doesn't matter if you're a guest or a customer. Here's the reality. What happens from this point on, right? Hindsight's 20/20. We learn from the past, but we grow for the future. Does that make sense? And what you decide to do after today, from the things you learn from some of the top people across the UK and around the world today through our 3-hour session here, is what's going to define what that market does, how you decide to take action and participate. And I couldn't be more excited to be working with each and every one of you and all the phenomenal leaders that are with us today. So thank you guys for being with me here today. So our first panel, and I have to add a couple panelists here. Oh, look at this, we got all kinds. So I'm just double checking, Samira. Thank you for the message. Let's look at our panelists here. All right, Samira, Veronica, Tom, Becca. So we have some attendees I have to add, but let me, I'm gonna start introducing our first panelists, panelists, and let them say hello. And just if you guys could give just a quick 30-second introduction to yourself, that would be really great for me. On our first panelist, and our first panel is going to talk a lot about attitude and goals. Attitude and goals. We're going to wrap a little bit about business, but and stuff. We're going to start a lot about attitude and goals from our UK Emerging Leaders panel. All right. Our UK Emerging Leaders panel has a handful of people in that are making it happen in the UK now. They live in the UK. They're pioneers and leaders in the UK. And our first panelist is Simon and Alyssa Wilcox. They're executive coordinators. They're also the GMTSS North local coordinators. They're master unfranchised owners and shopping union master members. They have won absolutely a ton of unfranchised business awards from 2017 through today. They're executive council members of the entire UK council, and they're certified health product trainers, as well as business coaches and consultants in their other business. And I want to welcome Simon and Alyssa. Simon and Alyssa, can you guys give everybody just a quick snapshot of your background? And thank you guys for being on the first panel.
Thank you so much, Don. Hi, everyone. Pleasure to see you all and be here. What an amazing first 15 minutes we've had from Don. Simon and I have been in this business for a few years now. Our history is generally we're in the training, mentoring, coaching arena in both personal and professional development. So we've been doing that combined for over 35 years. And yeah, we're parents to our son Jariah. I'm pregnant, 5 months pregnant at the moment. And we just absolutely love facilitating and helping other people to realize their potential, facilitate their growth, and achieve their goals and dreams, you know. So that's a little bit about us.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you, Aliska. And I'm sure Simon's going to be back. He's handling the little guy, so I'm sure he's going to be in and out as well. So
I'm here, Don. I am here.
There he is. Go ahead, Simon. Give us some love.
Hey, nice to see everyone. Thank you for inviting us on. Yeah, just excited to be here, and hopefully we can help serve you guys and learn from you as well.
Awesome. Appreciate you being on. I'm excited to ask you guys some questions. So that's that. Next one we have is Larry and Marcia. I actually have to get them off the attendees list because I guess, is it Marcia or Larry that they are under here? Let me see, because I have to upgrade. Let's see. Larry and Marcia, let's see. Is it under L? Let's see. Sorry, guys. There they are. I found them. Here we go. Promoted the panelists. Most people had a link. Some of the, there we go. So Larry and Marcia, can we have you, Marcia, I'm sorry. Can you guys say hello? You guys are now panelists and say hello. And Larry and Marcia Samuel, they're coordinators growing fast in the UK right now. They started their business June 2017. Recently, it took really active role in building. They're very, very passionate philanthropists and about charity. And they really work well with people. And they have a massive focus on our health and nutrition model. And they've been local challenge winners many, many times over. So Larry and Marcia, come on, let's hear from you.
Hi, guys.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Larry Samuels.
I'm Marcia.
Okay, yes, we are very passionate about the business. I'm personally from a mechanical background, spent most of my life in the garage, fixing cars. And I started driving an ambulance back in 2007. I did that up until about 2012 when I had some health issues. But the products have been a really great help for me during that time up until now.
Okay, a little bit about me. Background, started life as a social worker. I currently work part-time still, working with survivors of childhood sexual abuse. But the biggest passion for me is to having experienced and used the products, seeing how amazing the products are. That's what brought us into this business. And now we're building our own team. We're trying to get our team to grow with us as quickly as we can, and basically just see where we can go, because the sky's the limit for us as far as we're concerned.
Absolutely. And you guys are doing a great job of growing your team right now. I'm really proud of you guys. So kudos, and I'll be back to you guys shortly. Thank you for that. Next, we have Samira Killingbeck. Everybody knows Samira. I mean, I don't even know I have to introduce her. International renowned now. But she is the coordinator. Yeah, that's right. She's a coordinator of the UK GMTSS North local, South local area, and her career is in a compliance consultant in the banking world. But she has won all different awards and across the cosmetics, the web centers, and just a phenomenal business builder. But she also was the first UK unfranchisor ever to win a international corporate award. She was a 2018 certified web center trainer of the year for the global company. And she's also many-time master unfranchise owner and Shopping New Master member. Samira, give us some love. Tell us about yourself a little bit.
Well, good afternoon from the UK, and good morning to those of you in the States, and good evening to those of you in Singapore and Australia. Blessed and honored to be here and to serve on such an incredible panel. My background is within banking, so I'm a good person within banking. I'm from the compliance, anti-money laundering side, but what really attracted me to this business, if I'm honest, it was the model. Before even evaluating our incredible products, I was able to be introduced to the business model and saw the differences, the subtle yet impressive differences that we offer in comparison to other businesses that are out there. And that's what attracted me to this incredible opportunity and vehicle for wealth creation long-term, as well as the fact that we can enjoy cash flow now. I mean, on top of that, something that I think is really important for people to understand, and we will go into it in more detail, is it's a pure meritocracy. meaning that it doesn't matter if you have only just learned about this vehicle now, 20 years ago, whatever it may be, it's based on fairness. And that spoke volumes to me, because I've seen so many things where it's the person at the top that makes all the money. And that spoke volumes to me, that as long as you follow a system, then you can achieve whatever goals you personally want to realize.
Fantastic. Thank you, Sam. That was well said. Excellent stuff. Next, we have new fast-growing on franchise. We have several brand new fast-growing on franchise owners in the UK that I'm going to introduce you to right now, and then we're going to get into it. The next one is Joanna Marana and Christian Vandenhever. They both have incredible. They're now executive coordinators in the UK, growing extremely fast, as well as Veronica, which is the next one I'm going to introduce. So we're going to do this panel. But, Christian's background's in sales and banking, has had experience in network marketing, which made him really see this as an incredibly different model and a solution to all the things that are out there from that world. One of the reasons why we are offering such a big, unique difference for the UK. He's a father of 4 and a partner. And we have Joanna Marana, and which they are building the business together. Her business, she's a business coach and consultant. She does LinkedIn marketing and sales coaching. She's an executive and leadership coach as well. She works on employee engagement and helping startups start their business. She's a globally acclaimed award-winning coach in the sales and marketing field as well. And I want to welcome Joanna, and they are on a tear in the health and wellness world, particularly with the pharmacists and active people in the UK that are looking to be able to offer our products. So Christian and Joanna, say hello, please, and introduce yourselves.
Okay.
Can you guys hear us?
We got you.
Hi, everybody. Nice to meet everyone for the first time. Why don't you kick off, Christian?
Yeah, so just to kind of, I suppose, wrap up what the other guys have been saying. Samira, totally agree with you. For me, having been in sales my whole life, leverage was the key aspect of this business that differentiates it from any other network marketing business in the world. The leverage that you can get from the system that we have available, which is of course systemized, it's uniform. Anybody from any background can pick it up, run with it, and with the experienced unfranchised owners as mentors, yourself with the GMTSS, Simon and Aliska, what's available for people to get running from a dead start to a sprint speed, and the tools to allow them to do that is second to none. So that's what really, really appealed to us in this business. And obviously when I met Joanna and she saw the opportunity, it was evident to her as well. And with her background and sales experience and sales coaching experience, it's really been about tapping the network, running all the methodologies, the ABC pattern, getting people to evaluate on their behalf. You know, the basic principles of what we're taught has so far yielded the results we've had, especially over the last few months.
And if I could just go back to what you were saying at the beginning, Don, one of the things I wanted to pick up on was about timing, and 100% it's all about timing. A year ago when Christian introduced this to me, I wasn't ready for it, probably because I was so busy with all the other work that I was doing. But what really attracted me is about moving and transitioning from trading my time for money into working with a passive income network marketing company just like yourself. So for me, it was about timing. The timing now is perfect. We're all in lockdown, COVID-19, and I've got a lot of people contacting me looking to start up businesses right now, and I'm encouraging everybody to go down passive income model stream, which is really where we should all be going. So for me, it's very, very exciting time. Yes, I do coach, and I'm able to help others within our team build their businesses the way that I've learned to build business. So again, having that mentorship at the top leadership team is fantastic for anybody who comes in, because you can kickstart your business very quickly, hit the ground running. And you've got some great experience here on this panel. And it's nice to see other business coaches here. And just to let you know, Samira, my background was banking as well. So I've worked in investment banking for 12 years. I worked in the credit risk space at the time of the last recession in 2008. I quit the city 5 years ago, started up my business coaching business. And now, we just keep evolving as human beings, and we've just got to stay agile. But for us, this is just a fantastic opportunity. So thank you very much, everybody, for the opportunity.
Thank you for having us on.
You got it. And thank you guys for getting on. I'm excited to ask a couple questions, you guys, for sure. And then our last participant in this first panel is Veronica Correpta. I hope I said it right, as best close as I can. She actually just started her own franchise. I mean, as Christian and Joanna have in the last year. Veronica's in the last couple months. She just started in February with the company, and she's already been a local seminar winner, a challenge winner. She's a coordinator, almost executive coordinator. I actually thought she was executive coordinator. How much growth she has, but I'm sure it's right around the corner. She's doing incredible volume. She's bringing in partners like crazy. And I just asked her to get on because she's the newest, freshest, fast-growing on franchise in her country of the UK, and she's also an owner of a salon. So, Veronica, thank you. Give us a little background on yourself real quick, and then we'll start asking some questions to you guys.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, so I've started my business in February, and the most important thing for me, it was that I'm a beauty owner of the salon, right? So I was looking for some products to suggest to my clients. And because products help me, and I said to myself that that's the perfect time to do it and to have one bird on two stones. So it was amazing for me. And I went to to Miami for the convention, and that's how I started my business. I saw the people, I saw how it looked like, I feel the energy, and I said, that's it, that's the perfect time. And since then, I've never stopped. I'm working so hard, I'm doing what I have to do, and you know what? It's the best time of my life. I've met so many gorgeous and amazing people around me, and I'm so happy and I'm so glad that we are all together in this really tough time for everyone. Thank you.
I love it. You're welcome. Thank you so much, Veronica. So that's that. Now let's just start asking some questions, and I am going to stop my share just a moment and let you guys just answer so we can see you guys in full as we answer questions here, and go back to the share in a second. But the first one I want to ask a question to is Simon and Aliska, if you guys wouldn't mind, and this is the first question for the panel. And if you guys wouldn't mind elaborating, you guys have had tremendous experience and entrepreneurship, not only from not only in the business coaching community and the business training world, but also in building networks. And you guys have been successful in the past. Can you tell us from your position what you guys do to build, to help people, first yourselves, but then help other people create the mindset of an entrepreneur? Can you share with that? Would you guys elaborate on that for us? What do you guys do yourselves and help other people do to create the mindset of an entrepreneur, to help people get their brain wrapped around the different way they have to look at running a business for yourself?
Simon, did you want to jump in first?
Okay, that's a fantastic question, Don. That's a whole webinar seminar in its own right. So I've been very fortunate to work with some of the top leaders on the planet around goal setting, building businesses, just making a difference in every area of your life. And I think if I was to condense everything into, one of the simplest formats from all of my mentor kind of experience, as well as learning and training up many hundreds of thousands of people, it's simply, you've got to get to know yourself. You've got to get to know what makes you tick, what makes you stop ticking, and then what is your why. And we have a very in-depth program that we share with people around defining what their why, what their purpose is within their goals. Goals are fantastic, they're the target, but our purpose and our whys is what really takes us to that next level. And it can take you a long time to find your goal, but that goal doesn't mean anything if you don't know your purpose within your goal. And that's kind of what we focus on personally as a couple, for our family. So we do this with our children and hopefully our granddaughter when she's old enough to understand it. And this is what we are passionate about. So we apply this to every area of our life, every area of business. And it's very interesting that, at this moment in time, we own a number of companies, but the opportunity now with our own franchise business, alongside helping people to find out their purpose while they're locked down, especially, it's been very eye-opening from my perspective, just to see how receptive people can be, or how receptive people refuse to be when they're put under pressure. So right now is a pressure situation, and we've got an opportunity to really serve people from where they're at and to make a difference, not just on a financial, which is important, but on a social, on a mental, and for me and Aliska, definitely on a spiritual as well. So that's what I would say. Darlene, do you want to add stuff from your perspective?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Simon. I think it's been one of the biggest eye-openers for me in going from, I was very much an employee mindset before becoming an entrepreneur, and really entering into a personal development arena, where looking at how my mind worked and operated and how I had such a negative default. My mind had to change before my life changed. And so we found that with friends, with family, with potential business partners. And so, you know, Don, I love the question that you ask, and the idea of the importance of a person's attitude and timing as well. That was mentioned earlier, is vital. But I think if we can get to know a person's needs and find out what they need, what they want, what they're passionate about in life, and maybe their passion is that they talk a lot about a sickness or a problem. Some people are not passionate about positive things. Sometimes they're quite passionate and vocal about the negative things. But if you can come alongside them and listen and find out really what's going on with them, then you can build on the relationship first. You know, we have a saying, relationships rule over everything else. And many of you, I'm sure, have heard the saying that people don't care about what you know until they know that you care. And we've found that really helps in anything we do in life. If we can come alongside people and work alongside them for their best interests, we know we've got a massive toolkit here full of so many solutions to so many issues in life, whether it is health, whether it is physical things, whether it is mental and emotional, whether it is relational. You know, the fact that we can provide friendships and fulfilling, long-lasting, lifelong friendships and partnerships and relationships outside of business just through this, it's life-changing. And so if you can find out what makes a person tick, as Simon was saying, then you can come to them. We match people to products and products to people. And it's not just the products we can match to, it's solutions.
I love that. That's great. Can I have also Joanne and Christian, can you guys elaborate on that too? Obviously, you both have a coaching background as well. And I know you guys spend a lot of time in this kind of world as well. Can you guys elaborate on that same question?
So if we're talking about mindset, so first of all, let me just concur with everything that's already been said. Obviously, you've got other coaches here and we're on the same path, we're on the same journey. And going back to what Aliska was saying, I talk about people first, profit second, which also ties into the point people don't care how much you know until you know how much they know how much you care. But in terms of mindset, I mean, especially now, mindset is absolutely key in lockdown. And actually a lot of the people I'm talking to are all coming in with that negative mindset. And it's about how do we help people. What I'm talking about right now with the people that I'm talking about is how do you turn fear into focus, and how do you turn obstacles into opportunities. And that is the beauty of this what we're doing here, because where people are in so much fear at the moment, they can't see the wood for the trees as to what's happening today. Actually, we can help people turn that fear into focusing on what they can control and what they can do. And as Aliska says, there's such a huge, you know, range of tools and solutions that we have, that to get people focused, even in just one area, is going to change people's lives. And then again, going back to changing obstacles into opportunities, in terms of mindset, I'm helping people understand, yes, while there is an obstacle, you know, flip that on its head and say, so what are the opportunities of this obstacle? How do we need to think differently right now in this current time that the whole globe is experiencing? And that is really paying off dividends for a lot of people, and in getting people focused on what they can control. And this is something that people can control. We can't control what's going on in the news. We can't control what's going on with the pandemic, but we can control in taking control of our own lives and our destiny. And that's really, for me, very key in terms of helping people with mindset today. I don't know if you want to add anything to that.
I think you smashed it. I don't have anything to add to that.
Agree. That was excellent. Fantastic. That was awesome feedback. Thank you all. Samira, I'm going to come to you next, Samira, and I have a really important question for you. Samira has been a proponent of the GMTSS, and to be able to build that mindset, there's many things you can do, and I'm going to ask some questions in regards to that. But Samira, can you elaborate on what the GMTSS system has done for not only you, but your team and other people in the UK to be able to help build that mindset, do the things, give people those opportunities, and how we're kind of transitioning into a more virtual space right now to bridge a gap till we can get back to the traditional way that we would do our focused training before. So can you kind of highlight about the GMTSS itself and what it's done for you and the rest of the market there, Sam?
Absolutely. I mean, if I can also tie it in and piggyback of what Joanna, Simon, and Liska have shared, because I think it's all ties in nicely, is that mindset for me comes from the heart. So that sense of community is key, and that's what the GMTSS provides. But where people are going through a pressurized environment, we need to make sure that they are aware of tools that they can equip themselves with. So the likes of audios, making sure that you have a daily mode of operation that can prepare your mindset to be bulletproof. So whether it's that you're listening to an audio from Market United Kingdom or Market America, and we've got a whole plethora of tools at our disposal, from the apps that we have, the YouTube channels. But I also say, look outside of that. People like Les Brown, Jay Shetty, Anthony or Tony Robbins, however you know him by that name, right? But people of that ilk, listen to them and prepare yourself first thing in the morning. This is key. First thing in the morning, do not scroll on Facebook. Do not turn on the news. You want to make sure in your heart that you filled it with positivity, and that will transform itself into go into your head. And then from there, you're able to propel your day ahead. That's my personal philosophy, and that I share with not just my family and friends on this line, but also outside of it. And
I was going to actually highlight that. That's another question. So I'm glad you hit that. But I got to tell you, and you are 1000% accurate, Sam. I will tell you, probably in my career, because we only, even though like the live events that we have and the video opportunities, like the live interactive, they're segmented. There's time between them, right? And what I think the most powerful thing that I ever did was what you just shared. And I was going to ask a question on this, but since you brought it up, let's just elaborate. I probably learned 3/4 of my knowledge base from this business in my first year from audios. And I got to share with you. I had this prepared. Look. This just gives you an idea of how I used to do it. This is how I used to do it. You see this? This is like a box, and I have several of these boxfuls of our tapes. That just ages me, doesn't it? But cassette tapes, CDs, I mean, hundreds and hundreds of these. And I used to have them every time I would open up my car door. They'd fall out because I had so many of them. But I wanted to learn and become free as much as as fast as I could. And I realized there's only one thing you can do to learn without having to take time to do it. And that's audios, because you can listen to an audio while you're doing other things. Great point, Sam. And I will tell you, I would look at that as a great divide between really successful entrepreneurs and people that struggle sometimes. It's just their willingness to self-educate while they do other things, figure out a way to sharpen their axe every single day. And so that's a great point. All right, Sam, thanks.
I mean, the thing is, though, is that if we're focusing on not just the learning, but also just getting into the mindset, which is why I mentioned the likes of Les Brown and Jay Shetty, who that is what they are gurus in, right? Is that's going to set you up for the day, not just when it comes to your unfranchised business, but all areas of life. And I think sometimes that's what we need to go back to, is recognizing that the unfranchised business is a lifestyle. It's a part of our lifestyle. It doesn't have to be the lifestyle. So that's why I wanted to just say that you want to set yourself up for success with programming your heart and your mind. Where the GMTSS comes into it is that sense of community. we are human beings, and so we can't just stay locked away in our rooms, especially during this lockdown period. We have to interact with other human beings. But the only way that we can do that is how we're doing it right now, through our virtual connections. And that's why we always want to see people, even if it is virtually. The key is that this is the best way we can transfer our energy. It's the best way that we can still have that interaction. So whenever you see that there is something posted, an event taking place, whether it is to empower and improve your unfranchised business, or if it's just a means of saying hi, take that opportunity to do so. Because my dad always says that he can tell what a person is like by the company they keep. So if you surround yourself with positive people, even virtually, as we are doing, this is a GMTSS event, by the way. The Global Meeting Training Seminar System is for any and everyone to plug into and take advantage of. We share expertise, we share knowledge, and we don't care about who someone is connected to in our back office. It's all about being connected through kindred spirit and wanting to raise the caliber and raise the camaraderie of our community. So make sure that you are a proponent and component of the GMTSS, because together everyone achieves more, and you're only going to get better by serving many.
I love that, Sam. And JR said something a year and a half ago to me. It was just me and about 11, that was so good. Me and about 11 or 12 other GMTSS leaders that have various higher level kind of, again, they're voluntary, but volunteer positions to help organize these meeting systems in the field. And we have all kinds of digital space, but JR said this, he goes, listen, we can digitize all we want, but people are still human beings, and they need experiences and to feel a part of something. And that's why it's so important to see other people when you're doing these digital things. And hopefully sooner than later, we can get back in the space of each other to be able to share that energy. Because yes, digital is doing a good job bridging the gap, but it'll never replace that human interaction. We're doing the best we can right now, but that's why the GMTSS system is so vital to be a part of. Yes, digital, but when it moves back to going back into real business functions and seminars, it's so important. Go ahead, Joanna.
Yeah, if you don't mind, I just wanted to add to that, Don, that one of the other things is, again, going back to that, looking at obstacles and turning them into opportunities. Again, I think some people also have a bit of what I call head trash. I've had this with prospects and clients I've been speaking to in the last 2 months during lockdown, and a bit of head trash around, well, I can't sell through virtual. That's absolute rubbish, because it's happening. So again, I think our self-talk is really, really key, really important. We all have to pivot in this time. And again, look at Zoom, look at virtual, look at all the tools we have. What are the opportunities from doing this? Well, I'll tell you one, we're all, number one, leveraging our time. Okay, so through doing virtual, through doing all these things, we are leveraging so much more of our time. We're able to grow quicker in this environment. There's exponential growth through this, because you're not having to jump in a car, drive somewhere to see someone, have a coffee. You know, you can do this here right now. So again, I'm always looking at the opportunities. It's a fantastic opportunity. And yes, I agree. It'll be great once we can get back together and see each other in person. But this is a great learning curve for so many people to learn how to leverage their time. That's what I want to say, Ed.
I love that. That's really good. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. Next one I'm going to go to is Veronica, because Veronica, I want to know what you from your perspective, and this is a special question I have just for you to talk about, because your first experience was at the UK. I mean, it was at the World Conference, and I typically would have asked everybody. In fact, I'm going to ask everybody to answer this after Veronica answers this. What was your favorite event that you ever attended of all time, whether it was a virtual event or a live in-person event, and what did it do for you? So obviously, Veronica, your first event was in Miami. Can you tell everybody what that attendance of that event did for you, from the maybe the belief system you had before you went, and then since, and then you came back, and you right now are tearing it up. You're one of the fastest growers in the entire country right now. So congratulations to you for that. what did that event do for you?
Okay, hopefully I'm not gonna cry because it was the biggest event in my life, okay? Alex Cummings, she sponsored me and said to me, listen, would you like to come to Miami? 1 month before the convention, I said, you know what? Yeah, why not? I'm gonna see what's going on. I was just going to Miami, that was my trip. I didn't think about any business. I was just going for a trip. 5 days, nice trip in February, lovely weather, just love it. Okay, I came to Miami. I love America, okay? It was perfect, amazing weather. And then I've met so nice girls and we started talking, but I didn't know anything about the business, okay? They were starting to talk about the products, BV, points. And I was, what's going on? I didn't understand at all, okay? And then it was the first day, you know, we put our clothes all together. Basia was doing makeup. Alex was doing something else. We are having breakfast. It was amazing time, really all together. I saw really a team in this business. So, okay, I went there. It was 3 amazing days. That was the best days in my life. None of the other concert, nothing like that. I've never seen anything like that. I saw the multi-level millionaires, which were downstairs, close to the scene. I've seen them, I've took pictures. The stories that the people were saying on the stage, they were so emotional and they were so truth. And you can see that the people who are on the top, sometimes they don't having I don't know, jewelry, they are normal people. They don't have to be, I don't know, someone special with the studies or something. No, they're normal. And that was really, really important for me because if they're like that, why I can't do this? Of course I can do it. If they can do it, I can do it. So that was my point. And then I came back. Listen, I'm talking to this and I have goosebumps because I remember this feeling. I came to London and I said to myself that I've never been that happy in my life. Never, ever. I was like in the green tube. Everything was perfect for me. No bad feelings, no bad thoughts, nothing. Everything was good. And I always said that I'm gonna find a solution. And then another product, another someone is interested. And I was saying this from the bottom of my heart. I was talking to people, the truth, what I saw, that is so important to go to Miami because then you will feel a spirit. And now I understand when Alex said to me, oh, you have to order the ticket for the plane from my side. And I said, you know what? No, I'm not gonna do it. No entrepreneur, no nothing, no coachable from the beginning, okay? So no, I'm not gonna do it. I said, okay, no worries, don't do it. But then I came back and I said, you know what? I was stupid. I should do it because the rest people, they will have points and I will have points. So you know, everything's changed from them. And I'm doing all my shopping online. I'm saving my time. I'm learning people how to do it. So that the convention really brings to me. It was the life. It's another life in me right now with the Market America. And I know that this company will be huge like Coca-Cola, like it said Fat Joe about this as well. It will be like this because people, they're gonna grow it. I love the products, I love it. And it was just amazing, the perfect time. And everyone should go there and spend their money and spend their time. It's everything. That's it. That's from me.
That's amazing. That's a great job. Thank you for that. I can see why people want to partner with you. You are passionate beyond belief. I appreciate it. It's so exciting and so proud to watch you do what you've been doing. And I think my little one's trying to come in. Uh-oh. Oh, sure. Tell mama. Go tell mama. She'll fix it for you. She's downstairs. Sorry. That was Haley. So anyway, all right. So can I, Veronica, so good. Larry and Marcia, can you tell everybody about that? What was your favorite event that you've ever attended and what it did for you?
Hi, everyone. Yes, Veronica just highlighted quite a lot of the things that we experienced in Miami. For me, that was big. It was huge. I was blown away by the amount of people that was there. First of all, and most of my time was just looking around, seeing all the different nations, people dancing and really enjoying the presentations and the camaraderie, I think would be a good word to use. It was amazing. Miami definitely was a game changer. I came back excited, but then we both became victims of the virus. But thank God, we're recovering from that. But yeah, Miami is definitely one. I was encouraged by all the new products that came out. Ashley, he just did a great job with all the products. I was moved by JR's closing announcement on the Saturday before we finished. That really touched me. On the millionaires row.
Several rows.
There was, I think there was half of the people that were in the lower section were millionaires, and that really gave me a boost in thinking, wow, these guys are doing it, you know. If they can do it, maybe we can do it too. So I came away feeling really energized. We took a short break, went down to the Bahamas from there, which really, again, just kind of just bolstered everything together. And we came away, we came back to the UK, and we sat down and looked at each other and says, yes, this is definitely one that we're going to pursue. So for me, that was my little joy. What Marcia shared.
I think because that was our first World Conference, we didn't know what to expect. We really didn't know what to expect. But it was an amazing, amazing experience. And it was lovely to go with business partners and there as a group. So it was great to be part of the group, but also to meet other groups and other teams, the products that was on, the new products that was released. Fell in love with the lipstick, which, and I don't usually like makeup, so hey, fell in love with the lipstick. I think for me, the biggest thing was to see the number of millionaires, but also new millionaires. Because what it told you was that it didn't stop there. It's still going, it's still growing. So the opportunities are there for everybody to do that. And I came away excited. And honestly, I've got the goosebumps. Just remembering being in the audience, seeing all those people, dancing with Trina, you know, which we met for the first time. And just it was full on. I was tired at the end of it, but I don't want to miss another one. I don't want to miss another one.
I love it. Beautiful. Thank you, guys. That's great. Simon and Liska, how about you guys? What was your favorite event and what did it do for you?
Oh my goodness. I absolutely love just getting together for all of our local seminars here. I love the fact that we go in there, and when we first started, we saw so many people that seemed so connected with each other and seemed so, there was almost like a family atmosphere between so many people. And I loved the idea that there was a real Market UK community, and that meant so much to me. And so there isn't one particular one that stands out. There's an excitement whenever one comes up. We're doing it virtually at the moment, and can't wait to get back together again. But really to feel everyone's energy and presence, and the motivation, the like-minded people, the inspiration that comes is so powerful and so palpable. So every local seminar we have, I love.
Nice. For me, it might be a bit of a strange one. I love all of the events, definitely. But for me, I think the biggest highlight, I think, was the relationships that we formed when we went to Miami. It wasn't the actual conference itself, which was amazing. It was us renting an apartment with our business partners. It was us eating after each day and building a relationship. It was us solidifying our whys, our goals, our dreams, our aspirations. 1 minute, darling. It was us literally breaking bread with each other each night. So you become more than business partners and more than friends, you become family. And for me, that was the most powerful experience in Miami, but outside of the trainings, it was the relationship building. And as Alicia mentioned earlier, in our training, the key phrase is relationships rule. And for me, that was just the overruling, solidifying part of our business and why we're still here, I believe, because everyone that come with us to Miami is still in the business, which I think is a testament to itself.
Yeah.
Awesome. Good stuff. I love that. How about you, Sam? I mean, I think I know what your favorite event was. That was so good. But tell us your feedback, and then Christian, follow up her.
Which one do you think is my favorite? they're all my favorite. First of all, I think I haven't missed an event. Even whilst in hospital, I dialed in virtually. So I am so committed to attending the events for all of the reasons why our esteemed panelists have shared. I mean, there's more that is caught than what is taught, but you've got to be in the room to catch it. I cannot recreate the love, the belief that is felt. You have to feel it. At the moment, we are just sharing and talking from our experience, but every single one of us will take away something different from the exact same event, from the exact same thing that is said, because we're human beings. So there isn't a one size fits all. And that's the reason why you have to go to every single event possible, because one golden nugget from today will just change your life, not just your business. One golden nugget from the next event will change your life, not just for this business. And it could be that the same person said the exact same thing and it hit you differently. So I can't even put my finger. I mean, obviously, International Convention 2018 on a personal level was a very beautiful highlight for me, where I was pleasantly surprised and probably more than that humbled to win the award for Trainer of the Year within Internet Services, the Web Center division. I mean, to be recognized, we have well over, including Taiwan, we have well over 90 trainers. So to be recognized amongst some fantastic peers and mentors of mine, but to be seen as anywhere close to what they are able to deliver from a training perspective is a humbling experience. So definitely that was one of my highlights, but I want to say from a personal level. But for everyone here, every single time I get a chance to say hello to anyone, hug, everyone knows that I'm a hugger. So anytime I get a chance to hug, and just for us to exchange ideas and see how we can grow inside and outside this business together is a highlight for me.
I love that. Awesome stuff. And one of the things I want to say is, like, Samira is like the perfect coordinator for the UK and leader, because she networks her butt off. And I think that's one of the most powerful opportunities when you go to these GMTSS events, yes, in person, but also virtually when those opportunities are, because you can actually network and meet people and get a chance to know them and build those strategic alliances so you can build in each other's towns. And I think that's another really important thing. This allows Samira to be able to build her business in the US, and the people in the US that Samira has built networks with to be able to build with her in the UK, and allows people to create an exponential growing business situationally because they can leverage with each other. So powerful. Christian, how about you, brother?
Well, I definitely have to agree with everybody's comments around Miami. It is an absolutely amazing event, but it's definitely not my favorite event. I think for everybody listening or evaluating the business, people who are kind of thinking, oh my gosh, you know, look at this panel, these people are building their passive incomes, they're making money. The best event for me by far, 21st of April 2017, when we ran the fashion show. Don, do you remember we had guys come from the US and had a big fashion show? When you run a big event and 80% of the people in the room are in your organization, you know it's real, you know it's working, you know you're making money. That's exciting. My favorite event by far is when your team owns the room. And you understand the power of this if you go to Miami and Taiwan say hello. I think everybody who's been to Miami understands that, right? They get what I'm saying. It's huge. And when you understand that principle over here's the system, follow it through. By far best event for me, because then I knew this is not just, you know, a dream anymore. This is reality. It's happening. So that's my favorite event. And you'll all have those events, I guarantee.
Yeah, not yet, but it's coming, man. It's really, really coming. And obviously the UK National is going to be absolutely incredible, which is, I think, the 21st, 22nd of November is his rescheduled date. That's Saturday and Sunday in Birmingham. So you all know I can't wait to be back together with people. But in the meantime, let's have one more question with this panel before we move on. I'm going to start with you, Joanna, if you wouldn't mind answering this one. And then I'm going to ask every one of you to answer this same question as we wrap up this panel for the last 5 or so minutes. And this question is this. In this situation right now, okay, what do you think is the most challenging part for people to keep their brain in the game, and what can they do to do that? Now, we have talked about this already, but I want to elaborate a little bit more, because I think from this segment alone, the most important thing everybody needs to learn from each one of you, because you've all done an incredible job at keeping your brain in the game, and not only keeping your brain in the game, but helping people in the process and advancing your business. What do you think the most challenging part about right now is? How can people keep their brain in the game right to turn their obstacle into opportunities, Joanne, as you said, or their fear into focus? Go for it.
Okay, so wow, I could say a lot of things around that. So I'm going to pick out just one thing. I think one of the top challenges for people right now, especially in lockdown, is isolation. And I think isolation does have a huge impact on people's mental well-being, people's own self-belief. You know, I think this is very challenging for a time for people from a mental perspective in isolation. So in terms of how do we help people actually grow from this opportunity, I think it really goes back to the whole piece around mindset. I think actually, although we're all isolated and it is challenging, things like this, bringing the community together like this, is really helping people to appreciate that they're not alone. We are all in this together. We will come out of this together as a team. And I'm saying to everybody at the moment in business, your team right now are other businesses. Okay, so I think before we went into lockdown, life and the world was, and community, you know, global business and community was all about competition. Well, you know what? This is what I say every day when I get up. I have no competition except for the person I'm looking at in the mirror. And that's the reality. I love the fact that right now I'm sitting here with other business coaches and people in my industry. You know, it's all a choice about perspective, how you want to choose to look at this. I could look at other business coaches being my competition. I could look at other people in the unfranchised partnership being my competition, but that's not how I choose to live my life. And it's because I'm all about collaboration and team that I'm successful, and everybody can be successful. And more than ever right now in lockdown, we all have to collaborate. And the world is shifting. The universe is shifting. The world is changing. As humanity, we are changing, and this is the right time for people to come together, collaborate and grow together. And that's what I love about this business. It is all about collaboration. So going back to the point about isolation, I would say look in the mirror and just start talking to yourself positively, and start using this time to determine how you want your life to change. This is the time. We've never had this kind of time in our lives before to sit back and reflect. This is a time of reflection for the planet, for the world, for humanity. So make the most of this time to reflect and start changing the course of your lives. I don't know, like I said, I could talk about this all day, but that's my view at the moment. So isolation is challenging. Let's help each other mentally. Let's help each other find this community where nobody has to feel isolated. Let's work together, and let's help as many people as possible come out of this difficult period. And we can do that through this model.
Got it. Chris, you want to add anything?
No, I think
that was so
kind.
good.
It's too kind.
Yeah, it was so good. That was great. Thank you. Samira, how about you?
I think I'm off mute now. I mean, the thing is, it's literally what we've been saying the whole day. It's all about relationships. And I think the reason why people can lose focus is sometimes if they have too much time on their hands and no one to bounce ideas off of. So, you know, I said at the beginning when you asked me, Don, about the purpose of the GMTSS, it is in order for this business to make sense to people, they have to be able to interact with others. Because it can be, if you choose for it to be a lonely world, but it shouldn't be. And that's the way that JR designed it, is that we must all come together as a team. So I love the fact that we have this virtual GMTSS as well as the in-person one. Take advantage of that. I'd also say that if someone is looking at how they can overcome obstacles and as well as look at how they can focus more, is just to put into place a routine for yourself. So that goes back to when I was saying daily modes of operation. I can put in the chat a couple of books for people to read, but things like What to Say When You're Talking to Yourself by Dr. Shad. Make sure that every day you're listening to an audio. Make sure that minimum once a week, you are not only speaking to, but visibly seeing through Skype, through WhatsApp, through Zoom, or whatever means of communication, other business partners. Not just, however, and this is going to be controversial, not just in your own organization. I think it's important that we recognize that this is Team Market United Kingdom and not just team whoever my sponsor is. And therefore, the more that we build these strategic alliances across organizations, is the more that you will not only not feel isolated or fearful, but you will actually be empowered, because we have incredible expertise inside and outside of Market America worldwide. But the only reason why I've been blessed enough to know that is because I have been to the events in America where I can, you know, shake hands, meet, cuddle with the likes of Tom and Kay, with the likes of Sharon Lawrence, Don and Lisa, Bonnie. Recently been able to, you know, meet Vina, Malayva I've known for a little while now, and Tom no doubt will be able, Tom Pasternak now, no doubt will be able to in the future, in order to get those relationships stronger, right? Was blessed to meet also Debbie and Al, Big Al, when they came over to the UK. So it's not just within the UK, but we've got great leaders like Chwen, who's got fantastic relationships with people out in Asia. It all stems from and comes back to community. So the only way in which we're going to focus ourselves is if we have a system in place that's very simple. Do I want to make sure that I'm speaking to 3 people a day? I'm adding 2 names to my list through social media, attending some online networking events or some Facebook groups or LinkedIn groups, as well as making sure I'm feeding my heart and feeding my mind. That in itself, I think, will lend itself to people reaching out more to others as well as embracing what we have.
I love it. Thank you so much, guys. I'm gonna just very, very good. So, I mean, the 2 of you guys covered most of it. I want to ask just real quickly, one thing you do every single day to overcome maybe the isolation challenges for the last, for Larry and Marcia, then for Veronica, and then I'm going to ask Simon and Aliska to wrap up this panel session, this last question. So what's one thing that you guys do, Marcia and Larry, each day to work on that mindset, to overcome the struggles of the current situation?
I think it's how you start your day. I start each day because I journal, and I find journaling is a good way of emptying your head. But what I focus on are things that I'm grateful for. What are the things that I'm grateful for that's happening in my life at that time? Okay. And, you know, and also read. But I also think, sorry, going into what you asked before as well, because there's a lot of fear at the moment because people are losing jobs, closes, you know, stores are closed, and people are scared about their finances. It also is one of the biggest opportunities that we have. Yeah. Because what we have is a proven business system that has survived, is surviving and thriving in this time. So, but we also make sure we contact people, WhatsApp, Zoom, have conversations with grandchildren, FaceTime, that sort of thing. So keep as much connection outside of home as we can.
I love that. So good. How about you, Veronica?
I'm going to show you how I'm starting my day, because I've done a plan. Obviously, I'm reading my goals every day and I'm trying to write them down again and again, because then our brain is working. But I have here in the kitchen my daily task, my week task, and my monthly task. So I'm trying to follow these steps every day, and I'm trying to to be focused on it, and I'm trying to talk with as many people as I can, but I'm not pushing them. I'm asking more them how they are, is everything okay, how they feel. It's like a normal conversation. It may be something for you, but maybe not. I'm not gonna be angry if you're gonna say no to me. I'm still gonna be in touch with you, because maybe you will need a product, maybe you'd like to buy something, I don't know. So yeah, I'm starting my day from isotonics, then I'm following my list, I'm reading my goals, because that's the more important thing. Sometimes we are forgetting about our goals and then we are getting lost. That's what I'm thinking. That's what it is. And also, it's really important to plug in all other Zooms what we can, because that's what will give you the power. And even if it's 1 o'clock, if it's just session with JR or whoever it is, doesn't matter, just plug in and listen to it. Even if you're gonna fall asleep, don't worry, you can repeat it. Or I'm taking a shower and I'm listening to ABC Pattern with Elizabeth Weber, and I'm doing the same later on. So it's all about the imprinting as well, because if you're gonna plug in more, you're gonna understand more the business, and you're gonna follow the steps what they're doing, and you're gonna be the same, because it's the same like Lauren said about in the Miami, in the convention, that she was afraid to fly. But then she told to her daughter, to Amber, don't worry, you know what, it wasn't that bad, I flight, and it was okay. And Amber said, you know what, shall we try? So it's all about this, that we have to show to people how we are doing this. And yeah, that's it. That's it. That's how I'm gonna start my day.
So great. I love it. Thank you for sharing that. That was reality too. Simon and Aliska, wrap us up here and tell us what you guys do from your perspective to overcome maybe the struggles of this quarantine and keep your brain in the game and keep excelling and thriving.
Thank you so much, John, and amazing, amazing suggestions and practices done by all the leaders here. One of the things I think is a struggle, can be a struggle for us, certainly for, we're aware for everyone that we're around, is sometimes motivation can decrease, especially if you've got the news on a lot, or with the trials and troubles that these days have brought recently. And I think it's really important, the mindset, but I don't want to repeat the same things that everyone else has said. So maybe just something slightly different that we've been instilling and sharing with people that we mentor is you've got to keep your consistency and your self-discipline. If your self-discipline goes out the window at this time, it's very, very difficult to get it back again, to lose momentum that you may have had before this crisis. So you've got to physically schedule in times in the day, slots in the day where you are specifically going to do a specific task for the business. And so you don't maybe overwhelm yourself. Make it a small step if you need to. Maybe you schedule and you put a reminder in your phone so an alarm goes off and you say between 11:30 and 12 p.m. all I'm going to do is contact friends and family, and as a minimum there's going to be 5 there, and I'm going to find out how they're doing. And then maybe you schedule yourself again 10 minutes. So there's such small bite-sized chunks that they don't overwhelm you or put you off. You can achieve it. Just schedule it into your diary, specific business activity that you need to do. And then the other thing is that, and it's very, very similar to what Samara shared as well, is actually making sure that you check in with people within the business that are doing the business too. And to be honest with you, making it not a text message or written, but actually vocal, because that form of communication, and if you can do a quick video chat, is just so powerful because it keeps you connected in a far more powerful and solid way to keep those relationships alive, but to discuss business activity with them as well, because accountability will really help. And just to do that consistently, don't stop.
I love that. Is Simon?
Sorry, can I add something? Can I add something just quickly, because Aliska something told
real quick,
you know what?
because we're over in a segment.
Really quickly. No, what I'm gonna say is your job. So if you can spend 2 hours, it's like you're opening your shop. If you can do it for 2 hours on 1 hour, it's no limited time. But you have to go to job to make money. So it's just, if you can do 15 minutes, just do it. But put in your time lapse in your diary that this time I'm working. I'm not gonna cook in this time. I'm not gonna do the tidy, but I'm gonna focus on myself and on the business. Sorry, that's it.
I love it.
That's
Thank you so much. Simon, wrap us up, brother.
Yeah. So this is my personal routine. You've asked, what do I personally do? For me, the most important part to the day is the morning. It's getting my faith right. So for me, it's reading my Bible, getting my faith and my focus and my intentions right. And then I focus on who can I serve today. Those two things are the most important part of my day. And that goes to how can I serve my son when he wakes up, my wife, how can I make her feel better? How can I serve people in the team? How can I reach out to all the multiple people I work with in various arenas? How can I make a difference in those people's lives? And that's how I start my day off. And if I stick to that, business and everything else falls into place. Wonderful things happen. When I don't do that, I feel under pressure. I feel overwhelmed at times. And it takes a lot to overwhelm me. I'm a pretty resilient and tough-minded person, but literally that first part of the morning, whether it's 4 or 5 in the morning, whenever I get up, if I do that, wonderful things happen. And it goes back to, as you're saying, listening to positive audios, reading a positive book. All of those bits are part of that process for me, but it starts with two very simple steps, getting my mind and my spirit right and seeing who I can serve, and the rest falls into place.
Man, God bless that, man. That is amazing. Guys, if you guys love this first panel segment, I let it go over because y'all were throwing out spitting gems, and I let you guys keep going. If all you participants, we got over 140 some participants. If you guys like this, just say I. Just type I. You can either just do the I, or you can get AYE, or however you want to put it. Just put I if you love the first panel in the chat. Pop the chat with I and tell us how much you love that panel. And thank you guys so much. Samira, Simon and Aliska, Joanna and Christian, Larry and Marcia, Veronica, you guys were absolutely fantastic. I'm so excited to see you guys. Look at the chat threads going bonkers right now. I'm so excited to watch you guys set records and keep leading from the front. So kudos to you. Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys. All right. If you guys could mute yourselves out, that'd be great. And now I'm going to go back to our next panel. That was great. That really covered all goals and attitude a lot. All right. So let's talk about the next segment. We're going to talk about our product and retail a lot in this. So let me share my screen again. And we're going to get into our next panel, which is our product, nutrition, and we have some phenomenal business builders in this panel too. So the first, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people on this second panel, which is a products and services and retailing panel. Again, actually everyone on this is a phenomenal business builder as well. We can call every single panel top-notch business builders as well. We just had different people that have different expertise to offer in each one. So the first person I want to introduce to this panel is Sharon Lawrence. She's a registered dietitian, and she can tell you all her what she has done from a health and wellness world across the globe. She's been with Market UK and Market America for over 20 years. She's an executive director in building the business, $1 million earner in the U.S. She's advisory council. She's an advocacy group member. She's also on the Nutrimetrics faculty for the global community of Market America and Market UK, talking about our products and our opportunity. She was a Nutrimetrics Consultant of the Year internationally in 2010. And she was also Allied Health Professional of the Year in 2017. And she's won more President's Challenge than I can recall. Sharon, thank you for being on, sister. Can you tell me just a quick 30 seconds to 1 minute, kind of how you were introduced to the business and what attracted you, please?
Okay, Hal, thank you. Delighted to be on and have learned so much already this morning. I'm thrilled to be here. Yes, I have been affiliated for 20 years, and I was introduced by a chiropractor to one of our products, and that was the OPC3. It turned out to be life-changing for me, and I turned around and introduced it to all of my patients at the time. Since then, I have fallen in love with the business as well, and have spent the rest of the 20 years helping others to be receiving the benefits of these life-changing products, as well as our amazing business. because it is as life-changing as the products are.
No doubt about it. Thank you, Sharon. Looking forward to asking a few questions to you, and I know you'll have a ton to share with the UK market here in a moment. Next one I want to introduce you to is Keelan Chow. She is from the UK, wait, hold on. I better follow let's follow my slides instead. Keelan, I'll be right with you. Next one is Vita Hudgens. She's a senior master coordinator with American Market United Kingdom. She's a licensed paramedical clinical esthetician with over 22 years of experience in her field. She actually had her own skincare line and now has converted everything over to our brand skincare. And she is absolutely crushing it. She was a Spa of the Year in her area for 2014 through 2019, Facialist of the Year 2019. Amazing accolades, but she's also one of the top educators for the Motives Beauty and Business Academy, which actually there's a virtual one tomorrow and Monday, which we'll talk about later. But Vina, introduce yourself and quick hindsight on how you partner with the company, please.
Hi, everyone. Wow, I'm just sitting here blown away. I can tell you there's not much that would get me up at 5 a.m. in the morning because, listen, I don't wake up looking like this. It took at least 2 hours to get me halfway presentable. I'm just saying. But you know, they always say there's never an accident. And when it comes to this business, there has never been a time that it has let me down. Matter of fact, you know, I heard the other day something about digging that well before you need it. I didn't realize I would need this well. And I have dug this well. It has helped me through so much. But that being said, Dawn, we have, and anyone that's ever heard me speak, we have 4 of the most clinically studied, result-producing lines, honestly, on the market. Why would I not want to partner? But I didn't want, you'll like this, Sharon, I wasn't interested in the skincare. I wasn't interested in the makeup. I only wanted the nutritionals when I first partnered. It was only through Dawn and Lisa guiding me, taking my blinders off and introducing me to what else was out there that I was blown away by that. And I wasn't interested in the business. Honestly, when Don tells you to do certain things, I'm going to tell you right now, he walks those talks because I don't know how many times I said, Don, I'm not interested in your business, not my business. I just want those amazing nutritionals. That's all I want. So, you know, as time developed, it has saved me when my own skincare line was no more. It has saved me in this time right now when all of our businesses have closed down. So I'm just going to tell you, it's amazing, and I don't want to take up the time, but I could, you know me, Dawn, I'm the female version of you, right? We could talk without anyone needing to talk back at us.
That's right. Well, thank you. And I'm looking forward to getting some feedback for everybody on why the skincare that they have in the UK is so powerful. Next one I want to introduce. Sorry, I was talking to myself. My mute was on somehow. But that was awesome, Venus. Sorry about that. Next thing, excellent. I will ask you some great questions here about our skincare and stuff. Next thing is Keelan or Elaine Chow. She partnered with Market United Kingdom 2015. She's been there since when we started the market. She's a 4-time Shopping Union Master member. She's also a Master UFO. Hit executive coordinator early in her career. She won Director's Challenge, Local Seminar Challenge, all over the place. All the way through, you know, her whole entire career. And she just a plethora of knowledge. Keelan, can you tell us quick, within 30 seconds to a minute, your quick background so we can move on to some of the questions and get our last 2 participants of this panel introduced, please?
Hi, yes. My name is Elaine. I live in London. I come from Malaysia originally. I came to United Kingdom 25 years ago for a better life. I worked as a restaurant manager for about 15 years. I work very hard, 14 to 16 hours every day. Yes, my salary wasn't bad, but I don't have the time for my family and enjoy my life. In 2013, an accident case, my mom ran dead. She stayed in the hospital for about 7 months until she passed away. I didn't even spend a day with her when she was in the hospital. I feel helpless and guilty. I realize this is not what I want for the next of my life. I am so thankful for my friend Emily who lives in America. She introduced to me this amazing business. I wasn't good at online shopping and I don't know how to use computer, but I do know that I do this business for myself, but not by myself. I have a great team in America who support me. I believe the market America is the only chance the chance can change my life. As long as I follow the system, I will have my own lifestyle in the near future.
Fantastic. Thank you, Elaine. Great stuff. Next, we have Maleva Epperson, Maleva Lengel. Sorry, I'll never change Maleva. I'm always going to call you your mate because I've known you for so long. Maleva Lengel, she's from the U.S., Reading, California, Reading, Pennsylvania. By the way, Vina got up super early in California, 5 a.m. because she's way west. But Maleva is a master coordinator, 11 years as a freelance makeup artist for film and TV. She's also a national certified trainer for motives, and she's also a co-chair for the Berks County Women in Motion, Stop and Doing Master Member, Qualifier, Global Business Builder, and she also at times is a trainer at the Motives Beauty and Business Academy, certified trainer with Motives as well. So Maleva, real quick, your background, please.
Hi, everyone. This is awesome. Thank you so much. Like every single panel, I'm like here taking notes. It's been incredible. And it's okay, Don, I still haven't changed my last name. So I'm like the worst one ever. But hello, so my name is Maleva Epperson Lengel. I'm from the Reading, Pennsylvania area over here in the States. I am a freelance makeup artist for film and television. And honestly, I attribute my success in my freelance career mostly to using our products, Motives Cosmetics and our skincare, so early on in my career. But not just the products, but also I started attending trainings right from the get-go. I've never missed an international convention. I've never missed a regional conference. I've never missed a world conference. And I attribute, even when I wasn't building my business, I was building myself. And the skill sets that I was getting from our training was really applying to my freelance career and building my business skill set, my business chops in that. I was introduced to the product from a high school buddy of mine. He focuses in our health and wellness, but he approached me actually in like a parking lot of a gas station, petrol station over there maybe, and said, hey, I have these amazing products, you should check them out. And I was like, okay. And so I started using the brand, fell in love, and then 5.5 years ago, things were going kind of strange with my part-time job. I felt like I was giving a lot of time and energy to a company that wasn't really appreciating me. And here's the thing, no one else will give us what we're worth. That's up to us to decide, right? And so I decided to take ownership of that. And 5.5 years ago, I was like, you know what? I'm going to walk away from this job and never look back. And so I got serious about my business, and within that 11-month time turned it into the point where I could walk away. And as of next month, I'll be celebrating my 5th anniversary working full-time for myself. So I saw this business as a vehicle, as a way to be able to pursue my freelance career full-time and never have to worry about where the money was coming from. But I'm telling you, just like Vina said, in these global pandemic times, we can't work. Thank God for residual income, or I don't know where I would be right now. So thank you so much for having me be a part of this panel, and I can't wait to learn alongside everybody else.
And when you guys get a chance to meet Maleva, that was so good. When you guys get a chance to meet Maleva at a national conference or a world conference or in Miami or at the UK national event or whatever, ask her about the pumpkin patch. That's very important. You got to ask her to tell you the story about the pumpkin patch. It's a great story how she always worked in the food services business prior to when she was building her freelance, and she never could take her little brother to the pumpkin patch during Halloween because she was always working. And this business allowed her to take her brother to the pumpkin patch for the first time ever, and it was a very emotional, fun video to watch for her. So ask her about it; she'll tell you about it. And then the last person on the panel, which did not send me her bio slide, or I missed it. That's Becca Mousley. She is from Lancashire, up in the north, and she's also a beauty therapist in the UK and has a tremendous experience. She's been with Market UK since it started. she's built a very solid business there, but also just loves our products as well, and has some great expertise. So go ahead, Becca, let's hear from you for a second, and then we're going to start asking some questions for you guys.
So hi everybody, I am Becca. I am the north of the UK, so I'm probably like 40 minutes from Manchester. Partnered with the company, I just, kind of piggybacking on what was said earlier about timing is everything. I was approached about this business at the very beginning when Market UK first got started, and at that time it wasn't right. I had a lot going on in my personal life, so it just wasn't the right time. But my sponsor, who is Janina Marto from the US, she continued to chat and follow up and things, and then she was kind of posting things on social media, and it was maybe a year down the line, and I was ready for something new to sink my teeth into. As Don said, I'm a beauty industry professional, knew that I wanted to get more into the makeup side of things, just wasn't sure how I was going to do it. So it all kind of seemed to fall into place, really, and just took off from there. It was, I fell in love with the products instantly as soon as I used them, knew it was something that I had to share with my customers. I'm very, very passionate about helping people look and feel beautiful, with the motives and the skincare lines. It's something that, I do every day. I'm sure people get sick of me talking about skin, but I talk about it every day to nearly every person that I see. They're always asking me advice, and I just love to share my knowledge and my passion with them.
Love it. Thank you so much. All right, I am going to stop my share so people can see you guys in full screen, and we're going to start asking some questions. First, I want to start with is our wellness products, because I think in the current situation that we're at, I think wellness is almost it must be at top priority for so many people. And I'm going to ask Sharon Lawrence to elaborate on two things, Sharon, if you wouldn't mind, because I think this is so key and imperative in the UK for so many different reasons, and also across America and everywhere else for that matter. But the importance of the isotonic capable nutrition that we have, and what the vitamin D and the OPC can provide from an optimal health standpoint in the current situation that we're in right now. Sharon, if you wouldn't mind elaborating on those two things, I would appreciate that tremendously, and everybody else on would too. Hey, if you all want to hear this stuff from Sharon, just say aye in the chat. Let's make the chat pop again. Let's see it. Go for it. Go ahead, Sharon.
Okay, so I've been in practice for 44 years, and 20 years ago when I learned about the OPC, I actually had no clue how valuable it would be in terms of immunity, supporting healthy cardiovascular functions or inflammation. But at this point in time, where immunity is critical, we will use OPC and the vitamin D you asked me to speak about to build that wall around immunity. And of course, we will add vitamin C and other products to make that immunity functional and vibrant. But OPC, we're going to think about all year long for everyone as a foundational nutrient to build a wall around our bodies, around our brain, around our heart, around our organs, around our blood supply, because it really works everywhere on every system. And vitamin D, with it being that is a deficiency worldwide waiting to happen, and in the UK especially because of the lack of sunshine. And for those of us, we have a lot of skin mavens on here who are also telling everybody to use sunscreen, as I do. But the point of the matter is when we use the sunscreen, we're not even allowed, we're not permitted by our bodies to naturally make this essential nutrient, vitamin D. And so when you combine lack of sunshine and sunscreen, we are walking down a pathway toward a vitamin D deficiency. Vitamin D is one of the best ways we can walk through this crisis unscathed. We have to build those levels, build them higher than we've ever taken them, higher than we usually take them. And we need to take that vitamin D, the isotonic capable vitamin D, and the isotonic capable OPCs every day during this crisis and every day after this crisis.
And can you kind of just from, there's a lot of guests on that I'm seeing and brand new people. Can you go into a little more, like you do probably the best explanation of the isotonic capability of a product. Can you just elaborate a little deeper into that, Sharon, from your
sure, I'd love
scientific background? I'd appreciate that. Yes, please.
Okay, so if you can imagine with a functioning gastrointestinal tract, no matter what we put in our mouth, from a pill to a piece of food or something that we drink, it's going to take 40 minutes to 4 hours to break that down, even in our optimal functioning GI tracts. If we could have a guarantee that no matter what we put in our mouth, it'll hit the intestines, the only guarantee we have is with isotonic capable solutions. These are powders that when mixed with water, bypass the GI tract. So we mix them in an exact dilution, a cap of powder to 60 mLs of water, which for our American and other populations, 2 ounces of water. And when that mixture takes place and we sip it down, it goes right through the esophagus, right through the stomach, and into the villi of our intestinal lining, hitting the bloodstream 5 minutes later, which means we can look at a clock and know when it's available to our bodies for use. There is no other version of any pill, any capsule, any type of delivery that we can have that kind of a guarantee and security, which is why I love it. It's especially important for people around the world that are taking proton pump inhibitors, Prilosec, Prevacid, Nexium, any of those agents, because they decrease the acid, which means we have no idea when we take any other kind of supplement, whether or not it ever breaks down and whether or not it's ever available.
Wow, so good. Thank you, Sharon. That was awesome. Appreciate that. Beautiful. The next one I want to talk to is, let's go to Becca. Becca, what about motives itself? As you a beauty therapist and you focus on motives, what about motives made you decide to choose motives to offer to all of your clients as a beauty therapist in the UK? Why motives for you? What was motives specifically? What did it fulfill for you that made it different from anything else out there?
The thing was, like I said, when I first started using the products, I instantly fell in love. Now, for me to be able to retail products to clients, I've got to love that product myself. Otherwise, I kind of feel like I'm conning people. So I've got to love it myself first off. So like I said, I knew there were products that I had to share because I loved them. So I'd share them with other people. But I think from a business standpoint as well, just being in the industry, you know, it meant that I could build my, you know, my makeup kit at wholesale cost, you know, or you know, you can, there's other makeup artists out there who can, you know, they get like discounts with other companies and things, but they're not allowed to retail the products either. So, you know, makeup artists are out there putting products on people's faces from other lands, and this customer is saying, you know, where can I get that product from? And then this makeup artist is then having to send that customer to the MAC store or wherever. So they're not actually able to retail those products themselves. So from a business standpoint, it made sense to do that, because not only was I servicing that client by putting the makeup on the face, but I was also able to make more money because I was able to then retail the products to that customer. So I was saving them a lot of time, a lot of hassle, a lot of money, you know, searching for products that didn't even necessarily work for them. You know, it was up to me. You know, I was able to help them, match them to the products that they wanted and needed, and I have a lot of fun with that as well. You know, I enjoy doing that because I know there's a lot of women out there that struggle you know, finding things to suit them. So I have a lot of fun with that, and it is something that I am passionate about.
Love it. Thank you, Beck. Great. Same question for you, Maleva.
This is my favorite topic because what really inspired me about motives was our brokerage concept. So for guests or new partners on the call, we're a brokerage company, a global product brokerage company. And our beauty and cosmetics division is a microcosm of that entire global product brokerage concept. And so what I loved was there was a line out there that did the research, looked for the science, looked for the ingredients, and then figured out who made the best of each individual product, and went to those individual manufacturers and signed exclusive contracts for exclusive formulas and made them skincare. So it's a cosmeceutical line. So from a professional freelance perspective, I loved the fact that, you know, when I work on a client, it's not just that day. I work in film and TV. So a lot of times I'm working with that same actor or actress multiple days, if not weeks, if not months. And I had to make sure whatever I was using was going to be hypoallergenic, meaning that there weren't going to be any skin sensitivities to it, but also that it was going to be healthy for their skin, wearing it 12-hour days over the course of days and consecutive weeks. I wanted to make sure they weren't going to break out, which is going to cause more problems for me as I try to cover it for HD film. And so that was what was really special about this collection, was there was a line out there that did all the work and research for me, which allowed me to really focus on my craft and my relationship with my client, but also, it was always relevant, so that I never had to worry about having a product in my professional kit that wasn't working, that wasn't the best, because we're a broker. We wouldn't have it if it weren't best in class from everything else out there. And so that was really wonderful, to align myself with the brands that did the work for me to allow me to really focus on my career. And like Becca said, the fact that we can provide that service to our clients and not like send them off to the store being overwhelmed, but we can add that value by hand selecting solutions for them and having it drop shipped to their house. I mean, it's incredible. I love this brand. I really do.
I love it. And obviously, Chris, an ongoing income for you guys too, which I'm going to talk about here in a second, on how you can help other industry professionals do something from a digital perspective, because they can't see clients like they were before. And I'm going to ask a question on that. So it creates ongoing income and other opportunities as well. I love that. Thank you, Malia. That was so well said. Vina, how about you? Tell everybody, what about our skincare product makes this so unique? And obviously you didn't come in for the skincare, but as you started researching it, you saw something that you couldn't get anywhere else out there. Can you tell everybody about that, please?
Well, as a lot of you know, when I did start with the company, Sharon, I have to just kind of address what she said about the vitamin D, because this is part of the reason why I came into this company. You're 200% right, Sharon. We are so obsessed with skincare, which because of the skin cancers and all that other stuff. And do you know, I just read a study saying that Florida was the #1 deficient in vitamin D.
Exactly.
And that, right? I mean, isn't that amazing, knowing you have that much sun, right? So I'm pleased to say, Dawn, that we have one of the best sun protections on the market. And you're right. I mean, that's why I came in, is because I knew that I could make the outside look good as long as the inside was was fixed, right? Because we say beauty's from the inside out. And I knew that was where my chain was, my chain of being the top medical spa in my area was weak. So when I started looking around, I'm always going to bring only the best in to my studio. That was it. I mean, I can't continue to service my people if I'm doing a disservice, right? Bringing in just junk. And so that, that being said, I needed to make sure that when I did my homework, I was only going to invest in the best, and that was the nutritionals. So then when I started realizing you had a skincare line, because again, I didn't even realize you had a skincare line, I started studying. I'm a real geek when it comes to looking at ingredients. And I'll never forget this. I'm very blessed. I have Lisa and Dawn's hotline, and I called Lisa Martin. I said, Lisa, something's wrong here. There's no way this company has this kind of ingredients in these products. There's no way. And she said, yeah. But this is where, the one thing, and listen, Dawn has taught me a ton of things, but the one thing Lisa always said, and has always sat with me, is Lisa Martin has said, always meet people where they're at, right? And they both knew where I was at, was not being a product broker. It was in the skincare, and it was education. They knew I have literally lectured and taught all over the world. I've lectured all over the world. That's my passion, is to empower men and women how to take care of themselves, right? So she said, hey, would you mind doing a video maybe on one of our products? Well, when I started looking at the ingredients, I started bringing in those products. I already had my own skincare line, but these are ingredients, you guys, I couldn't financially afford. Neodermal, do you know how expensive neodermal is? Neodermal is in, again, I'm sorry, I'm an ingredients like geek, right? But it's in our needle-free serum. I mean, I could not afford that ingredient, but yet we have it in one of our products. I mean, my name may not be on Lumiere de Vie, may not be on our products, but my name is. Yep. Because like Becca said, anything we recommend, our name is on it. Like Maleva said, if she's going to recommend a skincare product, they darn well better do what it says it's going to do, because they're not going to be mad at Lumiere de Vie. They're not going to be mad at Cell Labs. They're going to be mad at me, and it's my reputation on the line. So trust me, I did not take this lightly. I did not take lightly what products I brought in. So to know, again, I can't stress this enough, right, Becca? How many times do we talk about this stuff? These are 4 of the most clinically studied lines in our industry, and result producing. They're gonna do what they say they're gonna do. If it says it's going to get rid, or it's going to demise a wrinkle by 86% in 2 weeks, we have clinical studies to prove that. So I have that behind me. So that being said, you guys see how I get all excited because really, I don't think everyone understands, right, Becca? I don't think people understand what we have in these products. I really don't. And to have a business behind it, again, you know, I don't know if and when in the state of California we're ever going to open up the skincare. We don't know. But here's what I do know. I have a solution. I have a solution for that. I can't fix it because I didn't break it, but I have a solution to help bridge that gap. And that's what we're looking at with this business and with our lines, whether it's nutritionals. And we have amazing people like Sharon that I know that I can call her and say, hey, help. You know I have Maleva. Matter of fact, I've flown Maleva out here. I go, girl, I got some big money for you. Fly out here, right? And eventually I keep trying to bring everyone out here so that we can, like you said, it's not just about one area. I think Samara said that. It's about a family. And that's the difference. This culture is the difference between any other culture you're going to see, right? The culture is that we are all one team, like you said, one team, one dream. But here's the thing that's really amazing. Anything we recommend for someone, it's going to work. And that's what I had to make sure of. I can recommend skincare. I know it's going to work. I can recommend makeup. I'm not a makeup artist, you guys, but guess what? I know someone that is. So again, I know I kind of over elaborate, but I am so passionate about this business, because if it wasn't for this business, honestly, not just during this time, but when I lost my own skincare line, had it not been for this business, I would be in a corner still sucking my thumb, not knowing what I was going to do. And it would have been bad. It would have been all bad. But now, here's the thing. I not only have an amazing business, this is the only one of my businesses, you guys, that didn't collapse. I had 2 businesses, and Dawn and Maleva both know that, you know. Not only did I have a skincare business, I owned a pub. So my UK people, I owned a pub out here, right?
Wow.
I know, right? But it
just got instant credibility across UK, just like that.
I know how to pour a mean Guinness, is all I'm going to tell you. So
I love it. Thank you. Yeah, that was so good. And then I have one more question for each of you. Just so you guys know, we are running about 10 to 15 minutes behind. So we're going to go 10 to 15 minutes later. So for our final panel, just stay patient with me. Our UK panel at the beginning was just throwing out gems, and I wanted them to keep on going. They were so good. Our emerging leaders panel. But I have one more question for each of you guys. Keelan, Elaine, can you just tell everybody what your favorite product is real quick? What's your favorite product available in the UK today? Your one favorite product and why? We got you, Elaine. Okay, there you go. Oh, I unmuted you. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
No problem.
Yeah, my favorite product is the Daily Essentials, Pride, Joy, Supports, and the digestive enzymes.
And why do you love those? What do you like about those most?
Before I start this business, my joints are nearly hurt. I can't easily get up if I kneel down. I took the daily essential twice a day and apply joint support 3 times a day for a month. I don't feel the pain anymore, and I take the digestive enzyme 3 times a day because I had stomach ache, and now I'm good all the time.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Beautiful. Thank you. All right. What I'd like to do now, I'm going to have one more question for each of the panelists in their profession. I'm going to start with Maleva, if you don't mind, Maleva. What are you doing right now that can help you and maybe other industry professionals retail product? Because obviously that's what this segment's about, retailing and the product quality. We already talked about the product quality, and I think the number one thing everybody out there needs to do is just experience the product and use more and more of it, right? But when it comes out of retailing it, what are you doing now in this social distancing era to help yourself retail more product and get it exposed to people, but also helping others that in maybe your industry retail the product as well?
Great question. Well, the first thing is kind of piggybacking on the first panelist is the one thing that I'm doing to ensure that I'm like helping serve others is I'm making sure that my mindset is on point, because I can be my own worst enemy, especially when I'm alone. And so the first 20 minutes, like before I even open my eyes in the morning, I'm setting my intentions for the day. Who am I going to serve? What new customer am I going to retail a product that's going to help them? What solutions am I going to provide? And I like set those intentions for my morning to make sure that like the rest of the day kind of is in line with that. As far as retailing, I'm actually doing a lot of virtual consulting, which is really fun because it's allowing us industry professionals to take our current skill set and pivot them to be able to provide solutions for more people. Like I've done virtual consulting for someone in Virginia and for someone out in Pittsburgh who I would never physically be able to get my hands on right now because they live so far away. But I have customers that are still spending money because everyone needs a little slice of happy right now. And everyone needs a little slice of something they can control in this uncontrollable pandemic times. And so even if that's like a great lipstick that makes them feel good in the morning, a new toner that helps make their skin feel great, like people are focusing more on that self-care. And just like we talk about wellness and self-care on the inside, we need wellness and self-care on the outside. And that comes to our skin and the cosmetics we're putting on our face. And so virtual consulting has been wonderful because I can FaceTime or Zoom and physically see someone in natural daylight. And we can go through their makeup kit together. We call it a makeup bag remix. And so I can help them spring clean their makeup kit by going through what's working for them, what's not. If it's dirty, I tell them to toss it. I can help them clean their brushes all virtually. It's amazing. And I've done some skincare consultation where I can look and I can see their skin in natural daylight and talk about like, what are their food habits? What are they eating? What are they using? I want to see it. They can take me into their bathroom, which is so fun right now. Not in a weird way, but they can like show me their medicine cabinet and their like cosmetic drawer. And it's just like, there's a relationship that's being built here that's more personal and transparent than I think ever before. And so industry professionals that are ready to be open to pivoting their business to doing more virtual is key right now, because every single product we have is available now that can be drop shipped safely to where they're at, and we can still earn an income that way. And so how I'm helping other beauty professionals is I'm just reaching out and saying, listen, how are you? Is there something I have access to that can help you? Because I think a lot of industry professionals are familiar with what we have to offer, which is a lot of them don't realize there are solutions out there. They don't know how to pivot. They don't know how to creative problem solve. And so that's kind of on us to be that solution and help them think through this time. And so that's what I've been focusing my time doing.
I love that. And on that note, I'm going to go to Vina on this because I think that's a very important point where Maleva just said, helping people learn how to pivot and making them feel great. And I mean, just so well said. Maleva, you have a gift of articulation, by the way. That was incredible. So good.
I just love this business.
You're excellent at it. And Vina, so on that note, helping people pivot, what do you recommend people to do most to learn how to do that? Obviously, people look at trying to figure out a way to pivot, especially in the beauty and skincare world. What is your best recommendation for people to kind of learn how to help others pivot from like a real life
Yeah.
business situation like they've been before, you know, when they were seeing clients and stuff. What can you recommend people to do to be able to pivot and help them learn how to provide people that solution?
Well, listen, it's tough right now, and I'm not going to sugarcoat that at all. And where my heart is right now, because I am so blessed in this business, I can tell you, and this is not from any form of accolades to myself, but I have never brought in so many business industry professionals. My newest one is a laser center, right? One of the largest laser centers in the state of California. Now, why is that so important? Because I'm bringing her solutions. Now, one of the biggest solutions is with our estheticians right now. Our estheticians don't know what to do. We can't touch, and we don't know when we're gonna touch. And that's just not in the state of California, that's across the board. So I've come up with some different things along with the team on what we can do. And one of the things we came up with is clinical concierge, right? And let me tell you where you're gonna learn that from is going to be the virtual MBBA. I can tell you something, the virtual MBBA that we're gonna be bringing to you tomorrow, which is Sunday and Monday, is all about helping you pivot from what we're doing right now, because a lot of people are frozen. They don't know what to do. They're frozen. So what we've done is we've collaborated with those that have been finding these solutions. And we've been taking these solutions, we collaborated together, Lisa Martin, Lee, Becky, which Becky is one of my partners. She owns a couple, she runs 2 beauty colleges, owns 2 beauty cosmetology schools. I know Maleva's been out and taught there before. But she had to pivot. How did she pivot? What did she do? How did we do it? It's all about bringing this education to our field. You know, we talk about being one community. We talk about being one company. Listen, you guys, right now, this isn't a time to jump on anyone. I didn't jump on anyone out there and say, hey, you need to be my partner because I have your solution. No, what I did is I came from a place of, can I help you? Can I give you some suggestions? Can I tell you, let's collaborate? And that's what I did with my last big adventure was I reached out to her, and I had been talking to this person for 8 months, but she didn't see that dry well because listen, in our industry, we have people standing in line. I have a 3-month waiting period to get in to see me as, for me just to work on somebody, right? That's kind of in our industry. Now we have a whole different world. I remember one of the last panelists mentioned that it's a whole different world. I mean, it's completely different. It is completely different. So you know what? Instead of pouncing, and I'm so proud that our company was not one of the ones named for being that way, right? We're gonna offer them a solution. So again, we have that virtual MBBA tomorrow. Anyone that wants to work with beauty industry professionals, or if you are a beauty industry professional, I'm highly going to recommend that you jump on that call. It's only 3 hours on Sunday and 3 hours on Monday. Listen, if I can get up, UK, if I can get up at 5 a.m. to be here for you, you come get up, I don't care what time, I don't even understand the time zones. All I know is Don Martin said, get up, okay. So if I can be up that early, you guys can be up that early, because you know what? We're gonna change lives, and that's the thing I wanna say that I love the most about this company, is that we come from a place of love and help and service. And listen, you guys, the money shows up, right? The money shows up. I don't go in and say, how can I get them to join? How can I get them to join? I go in and say, how can I help you? What can I do for you? What are your needs? What are your needs? And then let's fill those needs. And then, you know what? People want to be on that kind of party boat. They want to be on that boat, and you're going to build credibility with them. You're going to show them, you're going to educate them, you're going to teach them. And that is the biggest thing. Let's educate, let's teach. Education, empowering, teaching, all of the above is going to bring camaraderie. It's going to bring people into the fold. I
love that. Yeah, awesome stuff. Love it. Thank you, Vina. So good. I know you could keep going because you're so passionate about it, but that's really what it's all about. Lisa Martin, are you on real quick before I go to Sharon to wrap up this session?
Yes, I was.
Well, put on a video. Listen, Everyone needs to see you beside me. I asked you to come up and sit in my lap, and you wouldn't. So.
I didn't know when you wanted me to talk. Hi.
So can you just, in less than 2 or 3 minutes, can you just tell people kind of what you guys are doing tomorrow and Sunday? I know that you wanted to have an opportunity to tell everybody about the virtual MBBA, because I know you want to see Motives take a whole new form and just break records in the UK this year and across the US as well. And this is the first opportunity the UK has to participate in any part of the MBBA, and particularly because it's at 6 o'clock p.m. their time. So it's in the evening, right, 6 to 9 p.m. So they have a chance to participate in this. Can you just tell everybody in just a minute or two what you guys are going to cover and why it's so valuable, please?
Yeah, I mean, and that was intentional, by the way. I was thinking of you guys with our timing. We didn't want to start at a time that wouldn't be applicable for your market. So really the goal and what I'm excited about is this isn't exclusive to the US as far as products and services that we're going to talk about. When we do our traditional certification course, this isn't replacing that. This is just a virtual summit to focus on how to sort of adapt right now during this time. So we're really focusing on business stuff. We're not going to get into product knowledge really at all. It's not a product training. The blessing of COVID has been that there's been so many more trainings accessible to everyone virtually, which is amazing. And so we have had record number attendance in regards to like our level 1 classes. So this is building upon that. But really the goal is for the first day, which will be tomorrow, Sunday, Lee Rader and I will be leading the day. We have some panelists speaking as well, but we're really going to dig into the current state of affairs and really putting ourselves in the business owner's shoes of what are they dealing with right now and what are their options moving forward. And so what are some practical solutions that they can do right now during this scenario, but then also sort of planning it in phases where once they can go back to business as normal or as usual, which by the way, it's never going to be the way that it was. So we're going to talk about that. Like, what does that look like? How can we transition throughout the whole process? So it's right now an immediate solution, but it's also helping them come up with a plan for long term. And then the second day, Monday, we have Dina and Becky, who she was just talking about them working together. Leading most of the day. We have some other contributors as well, and really talking about some real life scenarios, right? Because stories are what sell us. That's what we remember. If we hear realistically, how did this unfold in this capacity? That makes sense. So we have examples of beauty schools, salons, spas, freelance artists. So you're going to hear from all these people firsthand on what they're doing right now to make money, because that's everyone's struggling in the service-based industry right now, and what their plans are moving forward and how you can approach industry professionals, but in a professional and empathetic manner where you are focusing on servicing them and offering a collaborative environment. Like as consultants, we're not product reps, we're really an objective sort of sounding board that we can be a great little sanctuary for these business owners to talk to us, because they can't really unload on their staff and they can't really unload on their families, right? So just having a peer from the industry and by a peer, I mean like a friend or someone in their network, right? Or a referral. It's sort of just a breath of fresh air. And I think someone that, again, from an objective standpoint, we're neutral, right? So we're the neutral party involved, and we can just be a business kind of consultant and coach for them, really at no cost, because we're going to get paid on their, helping them be successful. So hopefully that makes sense, but it's real. I've spent countless hours. This is brand new content. It's nothing you've ever seen before. We didn't copy and paste from anywhere else. And it's going to be a great sort of springboard into our next physical event, which we're hoping to be in September in Austin, Texas, which is where we were supposed to be this weekend.
And I know Lisa wants to get one live, and I'm using my husbandly leverage to get her to go to the UK and hold one early next year, hopefully. So
huge leverage.
That's right. I have husbandly leverage. So anyway, thank you for that. And I'll be back to you.
I like going there. You just have to handle the kids. That's the trade-off.
There we go. Well, that's the husbandly leverage I was talking about. Okay. So anyway, thank y'all. Thank you, baby. All right, so Sharon, if you can wrap up this session, and then we're going to move on to our final panel. And that is, and by the way, if you guys are loving this panel, just say aye in the chat, pop the chat with aye, or give us some love. Let all the speakers of this know that they're doing an incredible job. We appreciate you guys. Just really bring the kids with you, everybody's saying, Lise. Yeah, it's a good idea. We can bring them all over. So anyway, appreciate it. All right, so Sharon, how are you retailing, and how could you encourage people to retail right now in this type of situation? Are you doing some trial size stuff where you're sending people stuff in the mail, or how would you encourage people to reach out and offer a hand and help people with our product in today's situation right now?
Okay, so in the first panel and kind of throughout this second panel, everyone has touched on meeting people where they are at and being authentic, being genuine, and actually just caring in every conversation. Touching base with people, touching base with old customers, touching base with colleagues, touching base with people that you have worked with, that are in your family, that you network with, just to say, how is life treating you? How are you handling things? What's going on? Is the platform for supplements, it's the platform for the business, it's the platform for meeting people where they're at and helping them. I'm not doing as much trial size sampling as I previously did. What I'm doing is I'm listening, I'm reflecting back. How's that working for you? It sounds like you might benefit from something that will help you sleep better, help you handle this anxiety better, arm your immune system so you can get out there when you are out there, even with your mask, and feel strong and protected. Handle your pain so you could sleep at night and be functional all day. I'm just asking, and they're answering. They're telling me, and I'm asking more questions. I'm not just solving it like with a stamp, like I have to sell them something. I'm sitting back and processing with them. So I'm rescuing slowly, and because I'm not throwing it at them, they keep saying, well, wait, you mean there might be something out here that I could use? Is there something, can you tell me more about that? In our back offices, we have infographics, we have brochures, we have everything from beauty products to supplements in brochures that we can send information about. We can create a customer, we can follow up with the customers, and we can continue to service the customers from a place of love.
I love that, Sharon. And if I could just say, you just hit something that we've been saying all day, or different speakers have been saying all day, and that's that interaction, that engagement, that personal, how did Simon, and let's call it, taking people out of isolation and let them feel a part of something, and just ask questions and interact with them and show them that you really, really care. Having that thing, and that's really what it's all about. Guys, this panel was absolutely phenomenal. If you love this panel, hit up the chat, give us some love, tell everybody we have. Thank you so much, Vina, Maleva, Elaine, Becca, Sharon, we love you. Everybody tell them how much you loved them. And we're going to move on to our final panel here. Great job, guys. Appreciate it. By the way, I got to put a heads up. Sharon, you could have been on this panel too. I just was like putting it out because Sharon is breaking records in business building as well. So she's an international business builder as much as anybody on this final panel. I might even call on you again, sister. We'll see. But it depends on how much time we have, and we're running good. But love you guys and appreciate this panel. All right. So let me share my screen again, and I'm going to move on to our final panel of the day, and we're going to wrap things together. So yeah, give us some love on the chat. Tell the whole entire product and retail panel how much you appreciated them. And give them some love. Give them some love. All right, here we go. All right, now let's keep on wrapping up to our next panel. And the final panel, I'm going to call our International Business Builders panel. Now, a lot of people already on so far, but this is our final panel of the day. And this is about the business building side of things and the functionality of building the business. And this is going to be an hour, guys. So we're going to go a little over because I think it's worth it. And guess what? We're not paying rent. So we don't have a place we have to be out of in time. So we're gonna go, till probably quarter after 20 after, and because these guys have a lot to offer. And by the way, every single one on this panel loves to talk. and because they have so much to offer. So we're going to try to keep it moving so everybody has their shots. But I cannot wait to hear from some of these international business builders on what they're doing to build the business, because every single one is building the business fast right now. First one I want to introduce is Mr. Cullen Haskins. He's a director, a $1 Million Club member. He is also the regional director, GMTSS for the South, and just a plethora of knowledge and an international speaker as well. So, Cullen, can you introduce yourself real quick and tell everybody how you were introduced, about a minute, please, to the business and what it's done for you so far, buddy?
You got it, man. Hey, thanks for having me on, Don. Man, everybody is killing it today. Congratulations to everybody who's partaking in this. Linking arms, making things happen. I was introduced to the business when I was 24 years old. I was working for a drug dealer in South Chicago, Bayer Pharmaceutical, that is. And as I was working for the pharmaceutical company, I had worked my way into their maintenance division. I was a fix-it guy, certified HVAC, electrical, PLCs, you name it, I could fix it. I loved my job, hated working 12 hours a day. One day my dad came to me and said he was not going to be able to retire like he was planning. This was in the late 90s. And I thought, you know, he lost 3/4 of his 401k in the market. And at that point I said to myself, is that possible? I didn't even know that was possible. I'm putting all my money in that 401k thing. I mean, that's the exit strategy, I thought, you know. And then I really started to think about the plan, and I said, man, I got to work for the next 55 years of my life. I mean, this sucks. And so I started, you know, I was like, all right, what's the plan? And read a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. And that book really resonated with me because I had a rich dad and poor dad growing up. I had an identical situation to what Robert Kiyosaki had going on in that book. Got introduced to the unfranchised, compared it against all the other MLMs out there. Back then, there was about 29 MLMs that had made it past the 5-year mark. So I was the nerd getting out the calculator, trying to figure out how much you got to sell and how many people on the team is that going to need and how much to get out of my job. I got to replace 65 grand a year to get out of my job. And chose the unfranchised. Took 2 years. Trinity and I built this business with 5 kids, all under the age of 7, you guys. Just got to be creative with your time and be all in on what your reason why is. And for us, we want to spend more time with our kids and less time away from our kids. And so therefore, you know, a couple years later, you know, we hit a 6-figure income with the company. We've been home with our kids for over 20 years, and it's been the biggest blessing ever. So that's the short version.
Appreciate it, man. I can't wait to get some nuggets from you, brother. Thank you again for getting on. We much appreciate you being here. Next one I want you guys to, a lot of you know this beautiful woman. Her name is Bonnie Philo. She's from Nashville, New Hampshire. By the way, Cullen is from Chicago, now is in Florida. So if you want to visit, warm all the time, Cullen's, you know, so, you know, jump on down there. But she opened her own franchise in 1994. She's the executive director, 25 to 36,000 in US and a 4-week commission. $1 Million Club member. She has, I think, not only is she the Massachusetts and Rhode Island local coordinator, but she's run all the way through districts, and she's been everywhere in the GMTSS, certified trainer, shopping and master member, hit the challenge more times than you can count on 2 hands and probably both feet. And she also, probably the most prestigious award that you can get in Market America Global is the Jerry Siciliano Award. Bonnie, thanks for getting on, sister. Give us a little love and tell us about yourself real quick.
Okay, thanks, Don, and thank you all for plugging in. They say the first step of success is the ability of just showing up, and I think we have like 140 attendees on, so bravo to all of you. I took a look at the opportunity. I heard about the opportunity 28 years ago when Market America first came to town, and I heard about it through Elizabeth Weber, who was the gal that introduced me to the business. She's the top money earner. All of you know her in Market America, and I bring her up in my story all the time. And the reason that I do is because I knew her prior to Market America, running a personal shopping business. She was one of many of my clients and customers. And I watched Elizabeth grow the opportunity Market America, and I had no interest at all, sort of like how Vina felt it as well. No interest at all about the business. As a personal shopper, I loved what I did. It was my own baby, my own business. I had the best boss, me, and the shortest commute up a flight of stairs, which is what I say now about Market America. It's the same thing. We've got the best bosses ourselves and the shortest commute up a flight of stairs. But Elizabeth looked at me and said, you know something, Bonnie? She asked me a very telling question. She said, you know something, Bonnie? You're really good at what you do. You could be great at this business. and it's residual and ongoing, which your business isn't. No matter how much you love it, are you going to do this the rest of your life? And if you stop selling, will you continue to make money? That was 25 years ago. I've been partnered with the company now for 25 years. I've watched it grow for 28 years. And she could have hit me over the head with a hammer when she said that. The time to look for a plan B is when you don't need it. And we are really glad that I took a look at it. Scott and I are now married 45 years. Our daughter and son are both on franchise owners. We're molding our grandsons, who are 6 and 8, to be on franchise owners if that's what they choose. And I watched Elizabeth not make a lot of money, not make money with a lot of multi-level marketing companies. I was skeptical. I thought that's what this is. I'm really, really glad I took a look and kept my mind open. They say the mind works best when it's opened, like a parachute. And my big fear was, what if this worked and I didn't look at this or try this? What kind of legacy could I leave? So going forward, long story short, I did take a look. I didn't get the math of the marketing plan, guys. I got the logic, the simplicity of it, that we're doing what Market America's business model is all about. We're doing it every day anyway. We talk about things we love. We share experiences with other people. We just don't get paid for it. We're getting paid very, very handsomely for networking and doing that. And we are radically, radically different. So, I'm just thrilled now because 25 years in total, what we've built the first 5 years, and it's not just us, it's the Haskins, it's the Yenches, it's the Martins, it's Dr. Lawrence. What we built the first 5, 6, 7, 8 years of our journey is paying us now for the last 20 or 25. So make certain you take the next step, take a good look at our product, at our business, and I promise you won't be disappointed.
Love it. Thank you, Bonnie. So good. That's such a good point. And guys, you're a pioneer there in the UK. So take advantage of that. Like she just said, Bonnie was a pioneer here in the US. And, you have the guidance of pioneers like Bonnie and Cullen and all the rest of the leaders that are on this call to help you become in the UK what they became here. And I think that's such an invaluable asset here. So thank you so much, Bonnie. Next one I'm going to talk to and introduce you guys to is Tom Holden and Kazoo. They're in Conroe, Texas. Executive directors earn in excess of 25. Tom is executive director, earn in excess of 25 to 36,000 in a 4-week cycle. $1 Million Club member, advisory council member. He's also run many positions in the UK, in the GMTSS, and he is loved by so many people. So Tom, you want to introduce yourself, and then we'll have Kay do the same thing, which is the director, 18 to 25,000. So go ahead, my brother, Tom Holden.
All right. What's up? What's up? Good morning, everybody. Super excited to see everybody's faces on here. It's amazing how we can connect. I remember back in the late 1900s, we'd have to drive hours to connect with people. And today we just drive a few seconds to connect, and, getting to see Sharon and Bonnie and Cullen and Dawn and Lisa and all the great leaders this morning. It's so fun, right? And that's what we do. And so real quick, 23 years with the business prior to Market America, construction background, roofing, looked at this opportunity from a good friend, David Whited. He was his brother, Kelly, was looking to expand his business with a couple sharp people. I just happened to be David's only friend at the time. That didn't make me sharp necessarily. That's a joke, but really that's how it happened, and Kelly said, find a way that you can't make money in this business. And here we are 23 years later, trying to find that way. And really vision is brilliant, that today we all get to create the economy of the future and capture everything that's been put in place. And it's faster, bigger, stronger, with the global, just this Zoom thing is amazing. It's kind of like, we're having coffee. Right? We're sitting across from each other, having a little bit of fun. Oh yeah, tea, right? Yeah, because we're in the UK. We were just there a couple months ago, and it's good to see Sam on there and everybody. It's like as we sit here, Kay and I were talking about this quarantine, really having a family, a community, to where man, we are so blessed to have, Market America. Maybe you're a guest on here, maybe you're brand new in the business, but I can tell you the family of choice becomes Market America. We end up meeting people that, you fall in love with, or, you meet people in your group that you fall in love with, or outside of your group. I've spent Christmases and birthdays and babies and all kinds of stuff with all over. And so, just really grateful for this business, Don. Thanks for having us on.
I appreciate it. How about you? Yeah, we do. Hey, go ahead. That's why I know it's like we can't be able to help ourselves. That was so good. Kaizu.
Hi, everybody. I guess good morning and good evening wherever you guys are. But I started the business 6 years ago, and let me tell you, 6 years goes by with a blink of an eye. And I know, Don, we were listening to all the product, because let me tell you, 6 years, I think I feel healthier and feel younger. And I can say for everybody on here, look at Sharon, look at Bonnie, look how good they look, have been on the product for 20 years. And down in Colin too,
Yeah, hey. Yo.
But product works. And really, I started the business in 2014 without seeing the business plan. Because, I saw a cosmetics product, I saw skincare product, I saw health and nutritional product. And I said, oh my God, I already purchase these products every month anyways. So, I got started because now I get to purchase all of these products at wholesale with no expectations. And, I had a crazy thought. I said, you know what? All my friends typically ask me what to buy. So if, I suddenly have 10 customers, which is, that's a wild thought, but all my product would be free. And I thought, man, that's a home run, really, 10 customers. And I didn't think about, money aspect of the business. And, and then I went to see a business presentation 2 weeks after at a hotel. And that's why I saw, I didn't really understand the plan. So for the guests on here, if you don't understand the plan, that's okay. Just know there's a system to follow, and there's a lot of people with a lot of different backgrounds. Doesn't matter your education level, doesn't matter your age. If you work hard and willing to follow the system, you will make money. So I got obsessed with the idea of ongoing income. And, again, wildest dream. Tuesday, that Wednesday, I sat in my office there outside the window, and I said, man, what if I had today off and went got oil change and went grocery shopping before the rush came and I went home early? How great would that be? And I got obsessed with that idea and, worked hard for, the first year. And I mean, working hard means, after work, during lunchtime, I still work 70 hours a week at corporate, but just by fitting it in wherever I can. And I was able to leave my job July of 2015. So exactly a year and a month after I got started with Down Franchise Business.
Wow. Love that. So good. Thank you, Kay. Appreciate it. I can't wait to get back to you guys for sure. Next, we have the one and only Big Al. Big Al is in the house, y'all. Oh, shoot. Right? Come on, somebody. Right, Tom?
Come on, somebody. Big Al in the house. You might need a taxi.
I know. That's right. He's here now. I see him. So he's in Salisbury, Maryland. Left his full-time job, Big Al, after 16 years working for the state of Maryland. And Little Debbie's a teacher for 27 years, 24 years with Market America Advisory Council, Ginger Kiefer Award, Jerry Siciliano Award, 2007. Debbie has her own accolades as well. Hopefully she can chime in. She always likes to chime in here and there. She'll walk behind Big Al and chime in. But $1 Million Club member, executive director. Al, go ahead, man. Real quick background yourself, brother. Thanks for getting on. We appreciate you, baby.
Well, thanks, guys. Appreciate everything. Again, my name's Big Al, and my wife's name's Debbie. We've been married over 37 years. We were doing exactly what we wanted to do back in 1996 when we were approached about this business. And when someone talked about a home-based business right away, I just had a preconceived notion. It was multi-level marketing. It was a get-rich scheme. It was a pyramid. And I had to go recruit all my friends and family, and then go bug my friends and family, and go bug my friends and family, and keep bugging them. And when I got introduced to this business, I just was not open-minded. But luckily, after church on Sunday, we played on a coach softball team as a family. And Bonnie Gallagher kept dripping information, and I just wasn't interested. You know, I thought I knew what she didn't know, and I didn't know what I didn't know. And 16 weeks later, she found my weakness, a cold beer and some food. And said, Big Al, give me an opportunity. I'll share the information. If it doesn't make sense, I'll never ask you again. And I thought, you know what? I'm thirsty. I'm hungry. I'll take a look at it. And when I saw the concepts of how the company did not manufacture products and services, how one day when JR said in 1984 that every day everything was going to go to online shopping, someday the internet was going to be a big place where everybody went on a daily basis. And basically Bonnie sold me the vision of brokerage and where the concepts were going. But then when she showed me horizontal versus vertical, I'm gonna tell you that was ball game. You know, being a sports spy, you know, being a sports guy, being a average guy, being street smart, not book smart. When she showed me that this company paid 100% credit from the bottom to the top, I was like, you got to be kidding me. How does that work? And she said, well, the concepts was one of the biggest concepts was J.R. Roddinger capped his own income.
Yep.
And I said, wait, hold. The CEO, the founder, is going to cap his own income like one of us? And she said, yeah, Al, he's one of us. I said, get out of here. So I looked at it, tried to poke holes in it. And I always tell people my secret to my success of making, you know, the money I've made, living a lifestyle, changing my lifestyle in all phases of everything, spiritually, family, everything, was from the bottom to the top. I went directly to Andy Webb, who was making 6 figures after 11 months. So I always tell people, if you're not taking advantage of your senior partner, you're connecting with people that you can connect with. That's my shortcut to success. I went right to Andy and Bonnie and said, look, show me how to make an extra $300 a month. Never realized, you know, that there was an opportunity to make over, you know, $250,000 part-time and be an average person. So I'm leaving a legacy for 6 grandkids and just getting paid on what I'm going to do anyhow.
Love it, Big Al. Thank you, brother. And guys, I got to tell you, man, this is such a great thing because now you guys in the UK get a chance to meet all the leaders in many of the great leaders in the US. And simultaneously, you great leaders in the U.S. get a chance to meet all these UK leaders, and everybody can zipper and build the business back and forth in each country and leverage each other's talents and skills. It's a very exciting time for everybody involved. I have one more special guest that wasn't announced, but he's on with us too. There's several great leaders that are in the chat, but I wanted to highlight one more because he's starting to build heavily in the UK. His name is Tom Pasternak. He's the director and a $1 Million Club member as well, certified trainer, multiple challenges. Tom, real quick, about a minute, just your background, buddy, and thanks for getting on, and thanks for surprising us and blessing us with you jumping on in this final panel as well. Unmute yourself, buddy.
All right, okay.
There
hey,
we go.
Al, thanks for inviting me at the last minute to be on this. We all of a sudden we had this surge that went to the UK. First of all, I want to say I'm blown away by all the leaders in the UK. These guys are just on it, and they're speaking with such passion, and they're all professional mind molders. I mean, I was some crazy executive from nowhere from before I started this, but I'm so. And then the second thing I want to notice about is that I'm a hero worshiper, and all my heroes are on here. There's Bonnie, there's Debbie, there's Big Al, there's all you guys. Okay. And Sharon Lawrence, hi baby. Yesterday we finished our 22nd year with this, 22nd year anniversary. Okay, and when I first got to this company, I saw all these people. They were all my heroes. I'm a hero worshiper, and here's what I've noticed this morning. They're all still here. 20 plus years later, these people, this doesn't happen even anywhere. So I came from corporate America. I did the whole corporate America thing. I was a sales vice president, and I got to be executive vice president, and I thought I was set. Okay, nice 6-figure income. We took a company from 0 employees to 200 employees, and I was a top employee, keyword employee. My 2 bosses got into a partner fight over a divorce. And one day at lunch, my boss vaporized me, the chief financial officer, and another guy. So here's what I learned about working for somebody else. As Lou Manfredi says, it's working for somebody else. Okay, you don't own that job. I thought I had them cornered. My boss doesn't even come to work anymore. So what I learned is every executive in the United States is scared because nobody above you or below you likes you anyway. And so what happens was after 20 years in corporate America being what people call successful, I was on the street. I had a 16-year-old heading to college. I had a retirement that wasn't put together, and I really didn't want another boss. Those folks just used us and tossed us out without thinking hard. 3 of us were gone in 1 lunch hour. So I stumbled on this business. I was trying to make $600 a month to keep the utilities on until I could figure out what I was going to do next. And then some people have been saying it all morning. I went to my first conference. I don't know whether you're going to ask this question later. Anyway, Don, I just couldn't get over. I called my wife after 3 days and down in my first Greensboro, and I said, I can smell the money here. There's a business. I mean, I came from a business background. This is going to work. But I can't figure out why all these people are so damn nice to each other. Because where I came from, we were always at each other's throats. That's how you got somewhere. You learn those skills. Awful. And I hear one after another. I remember that somebody introduced me to Bonnie's sponsor, Elizabeth Weber, and I had 0 credentials at this point. I mean, I'd been around. I didn't have a customer or a partner. I'm just wandering around, and she had 20 minutes to talk to me. This doesn't happen in my old world. And so I hear this all morning long. I wrote down here in my notes, everybody here comes from a place of love, and I couldn't even verbalize it back then, but you get in this family, and these are all friends that I've made all these years, Cullen and all these people, these are my heroes, and I'm from the business side. They wouldn't be here if they weren't getting paid. They're all here 20 years later. What does that tell you? Okay. So we got our business cash flowing 6 figures in 4 years, retired my wife, Diana, from her manager's job, put my daughter through college, who now has a wonderful career, lives in Manhattan, and it changed our life. And I just can't thank J.R. Ryder and everybody and all these great people. All my teachers are on this call this morning, helping out with the UK. I'm just so thrilled. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
You're welcome, and thanks for being on. And if you guys want to hear all kinds of knowledge and dropping all kinds of great nuggets and knowledge from this panel here, just say aye in the chat, and let's pop the chat, make that chat explode, so they all inspired to share their deepest secrets to you guys in terms of building the business. So blow that chat up. Let's see 100, 200. We got 100 and something participants on. So make that chat explode, guys. All right. So let's get started here with the Q&A. And I went back to full screen so people could see you guys in straight. First question I have for you guys, we're going to talk about business building in terms of prospecting, recruiting, and then the process of getting people to lead the people. We're going to wrap up with recruiting and follow up in this final business builders session. So I'm going to ask each of you in a minute to a minute and a half or 2 minutes max. Let's keep this quick because I have 3 or 4 questions I want to get through with you guys within the next half hour. And we got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people I want to hear from. So if you guys, within about 2 minutes each, I'm going to start with Bonnie. If you wouldn't mind, Bonnie, start us off. Tell everybody your favorite approach right now. Your favorite approach when you're calling someone to look at the business. What is that for you? And I'm going to have the same question across the board, guys.
Okay, it's the direct approach. I'm very, very comfortable with the direct approach because I've got the DNA. I've got the Market America, Market UK DNA. No one's going to tell me that this doesn't work. The business does work if you work it. So I'm coming from a place of heart, but I'm coming from a place of knowledge. Knowledge is power, obtain and apply. And once you get that, you'll be unstoppable. So networking is nothing more than somebody excited about something, whether they know a lot about it or not. Somebody excited about something and they just want to spread the news. So I'll go back 25 years ago and exactly what I said back then, business as usual, I'm saying today, Don, the same exact thing. Do you have a couple of minutes?
Yeah, sure.
That's the first question. Do you have a couple of minutes? Just wanted to give you a call. I was cleaning off my desk. I came across your number, wanted to see how you're doing. So the first step is just the conversation, get that relationship going if you haven't spoken to the person in a while. If you speak to the person daily, then you know what's going on in their life daily. People can only complain about how rotten things are or how they wish things were. I don't care whether you're in Australia, England, or America. People chat about the same thing. So my next step is, you know something, I'm taking a shot in the dark. And a lot of you know my term. I'm taking a shot in the dark. I'd be remiss if I didn't call you. I recently took a look at an opportunity, and it really, really did blow me away. Let me assure you, it's not a pyramid. It's not illegal. I'm not that ignorant. It's not a multi-level marketing pay plan, but thought I'd take a shot. Wanted to give you a call because I am on my way to a very solid ongoing residual income, perhaps even in the next 2, 3, 4 years to a 6-figure ongoing residual income. And I didn't want you saying to me, Bonnie, why didn't you call me 3 years ago? So here's the shot in the dark. Are you personally keeping your financial options open, looking for a secondary income without getting a second job? Or are you married to what you're doing? Or would you prefer to pass on the information? But at the very least, if you would like to pass, maybe you could help me out. You might know people that are looking for exactly what we are offering. And I know you don't know what we are, how we work, what we do. Would you at least be open to helping me out? 3, 4, 5-minute phone call, getting more information, and you might know the right people, and I could even make it worth your while. That's the approach.
I love that. That's great. So you start off, you actually position yourself with the direct approach to begin, but you also have that backup that just in case, but which turns into an evaluation. I love that. Great job, Bonnie. How about you, Colin, man? What's your current approach, and what your favorite approach moving forward that you've used?
Trinity and I have always used the, evaluation, no decision close. Back in the day, CJR on stage getting all sweaty and saying this is how he does it. So we didn't question anything. It was more like, hey, what does JR do? What is Elizabeth doing? What's Bonnie doing? And they're like, yeah, you take a little bit from everybody, but it's really just asking people to evaluate. We'd love to have you evaluate what we're doing, what we're looking for, may or may not be right for you. And really coming from a place of, hey, I would love to share with you what I've learned. Learned is the key there. See, because if I come from a place of experience, if I'm coming from a place of, I would love to share with you some things I've been learning about generating an ongoing income, that's going to replace my full-time job income and allow me to spend more time with my kids versus, more time at my job, So I want them to evaluate it based on what I've learned is really the key element there. And I really think the same thing that Bonnie just shared is really, really powerful. You got to set the vision of where you're going. Like, hey, I have no way by this time next year, I won't have replaced my income at my job. And again, it may or may not be right for you, but I at least want to share with you what I've got going on. And most people are going to book that appointment because of the energy, because of the excitement. So even if you're doing it in today's world, this is like whether it's on the phone, texting, not a lot of energy in texting. So that's kind of, texting would be like, hey, I would love to give you a call. That'd be my text approach today. But really, I want to get them on the phone because you're going to feel the voice inflection. And if anybody would ask me, Don, well, what is it? Or tell me more. I'd really be short with that too, but I would say, hey, it's a product brokerage system. Bottom line is this. I can't get into all of it with you right now, but here's what I would love to do. If you've got any great ideas in your head at this point of a way for us to replace our income in the next year or two, you bring your great idea, I'll bring my great idea, we'll compare notes, and whoever has the best idea, let's agree we should do something together. Wouldn't that be awesome? And so I'm planting seeds on that to where ultimately a lot of my friends didn't have a better idea. They weren't even thinking about other ideas at 24 years old. I was like, where am I going to get my case of beer and, go hang out on Friday night, And so to me, it was another seed planted of them going, well, gosh, I don't really have a better idea. So if Haskins has something, I should at least hear him out, right? So that's kind of the route I would go.
I love that,
Still the same today, of course, Yeah,
for sure. Yep, absolutely. Great. How about you, Big Al? Let's hear yours, baby. What's your favorite approach now, baby?
Well, I'm going to take it, mine's always been an evaluation approach. So do me a favor, take a look at this, give me your opinion. But today I'm like, I'll give you, like, I'm walking 3 or 4 times in my neighborhood. And my whole goal is just to get to meet people, get to care about them, ask the art of asking questions, controlling the conversation. And then I get enough information from that person to say, you know what, they're going to ask me. Like yesterday, I met a lady that was riding around in a Mercedes in my neighborhood looking for a a place on the water, and we got to chatting. And next thing I know, where are you from? Well, I'm originally from here, but I live in Canton. She said in Baltimore, but I'm looking to move back here because my parents are sick. They're in their 80s. I need to be around family. I need to be there to help. I said, well, yeah, that's definitely the thing you need to do. I said, well, by the way, what do you do? She says, well, I'm a nurse. I said, oh, really? I said, man, that's pretty good. I said, I work with nurses in Nutrimetrics where we, work with healthcare providers to implement wellness. And she said, I think I've heard of what you're talking about. What is it? And I said, Nutrimetrics, markamericanshop.com. And she says, I've definitely heard. So make a long story short, hey, do you mind if I get your name and number? I'll give you a text and we'll catch up the next couple of days. Now that was yesterday. I left 24 hours go by and text her today. And I haven't checked my phone, but again, I just, my new market now is just meeting new people, grab enough information to put it in the mixing bowl to see if I got the right ingredients to make that, cake or make that pie, whatever I'm cooking up. But I think controlling this conversation, but fishing, man, it's all about fishing. Quit trying to sell this business, quit trying to talk about you and what great opportunity you have. Find out more about them to see if they even qualify. And qualify means to even bring up the business. So that's me.
I love that, man. So it's all about building relationships, Big Al. And guys, I think what you're going to hear unanimously across this whole panel is that, it's all about building that relationship and having that solid relationship. How about you, Tom Pasternak? Just real quick, how do you approach this? I want all six of you guys to get this because this is so valuable. I love what I've heard so far. Go ahead, Tom.
Sure thing. I was trained from early on, and I've always done this. I'm more like Bonnie with the direct approach in the sense that my job is similar to what Big Al just said, is to get in a conversation with somebody. And I'm listening with my antenna up for some kind of pain, some kind of a problem. I came here because I had to fix a problem. Don't most of us go to something new because we're trying to fix whatever didn't go right there? Pick it, marriage, life, and anything. So I'm listening, and I try and teach my team, and because that's the way I was taught, it's all about why. So I'm listening till I hear some problem, at which point I'm allowed to say, I might be able to help you with that. Okay? And you watch their reaction. And if they move forward, they can say, well, what do you have? Then they want to know more, and then we set an appointment. And listen, we'll get you on Zoom. We'll talk from there. And this whole group in the UK came from that. I was talking to my banker one day in the bank. But see, if you don't say, someone who said 20 times is going to meet people today where they're at, care about them first. And if you don't get to say the sign, the line, I might be able to help you, it's malpractice. You haven't asked enough questions. You haven't actually cared about that person enough to offer some genuine help. What if we can help? Okay. And that, everything goes smoothly from there on. Okay. If they genuinely want help, you can set an appointment. So that's the first appointment gets set that way for me.
I love how you said that. And I think I want to reiterate what you just said because you said it so quick. And often you said, if you're going for it too quick, that's malpractice. Build that relationship, then you earn the right to approach. And that's so good, Tom. Great job. Beautiful. Thank you. Kazoo, and then Tom Holden. Go ahead, Kay.
Ton Holden. Ton.
Sorry, we're not unmuted. My approach really, it have changed. The first year I was really, direct approach where, hey, I just started a business, really the call workshop, not sure if it's the right fit for you or not, but really would appreciate it if you could evaluate it with me. And that's first year through Warm Market. And then, now really Tom taught me, really spent time with conversation because conversation leads to presentation. And, Tom is really the expert of that. So I will have him touch on that.
You're so funny. All right. Well, we are in the mobile business, and so we have switched our mobile office to the car.
You noticed.
I know it's kind of incredible how, this business, it's really amazing because you think about this for a minute. Back in the day, we'd have to connect with people, face to face, over, coffee. Today we can do a Zoom drive down the road, but it's nuts. Here's the deal. Conversation leads to presentation. That's the point. You heard it with everybody. It's about developing the conversation. Mine is real simple. Hey man, it's a shot in the dark. I have somebody that's expanding a weight loss division to their company. I'd love to introduce you to them. Hey man, it's a shot in the dark. You got good looking skin. I have somebody that I know that is looking for somebody to manage their line of skincare. Hey man, it's a shot in the dark. You look pretty broke and busted. Are you looking to get out of that situation? Hey man, it's a shot in the dark. I'm looking for a couple sharp people to expand my business with in your town. Isn't this crazy? Right? So for me, it's always a shot in the dark. I always believe this. It's 50-50. 50% chance that they're going to do it, 50% chance that they're not going to do it. So why not hit them upside the head with a little shot in the dark?
Love it, man. Good stuff. Thanks, Tom. And Lisa Martin. Now, Lisa Martin's on as well. Lisa, can you share what your favorite approach is? Wow, it's great stuff, guys. If you guys are loving this, pop a thumbs up in the chat because this is golden nuggets. Everybody that's listening, we have 134 people totally on. Let me see 134 thumbs up if you're loving this content. Go ahead, Lisa.
Oh, you're so cute. You're really good at getting people to engage on Zoom here, babe. Good job. So you're putting me on the spot here. I don't really have anything planned to say, but as far as approaches, I don't really know that I have a specific approach. It's more, I kind of embrace more like the lifestyle marketing, if you will. So to me, it's really easy to talk about products. It's easy to recommend products, but honestly, like just kind of thinking through the last few people that I've approached or prospected, it's really just like listening, honestly. And I really don't even say anything truly. One example was when we were in Arizona for the last MBBA we did, which was in March. I was sitting outside after the event one day, and Lee and I were talking, and this other couple came and sat down, and they just, were like, oh, hi. It's kind of like in a loungy type setting. And we just started, oh, are you just checking in? Where are you from? So I just started asking questions. And then, I think you need to learn to read people's body language. Like I'm a very good observer. So if people are appearing like closed off and unapproachable, then I'm not going to try to like take that to the next level. But this couple sat down and they were making eye contact and they were smiling and whatnot. So anyway, they started saying how they were there for a doTERRA conference, actually. So I'm like, oh, that's awesome. Like, I love essential oils, and I asked them, how long have you been doing that? And I don't know, I just kept asking question after question, which I like conversation anyway. That kind of fills my soul. I enjoy a good conversation. And I just really liked and I never even brought up the business. In fact, but I asked for their information. So I just said, after they were talking, I said, hey, listen, we're gonna go meet some friends for dinner, but I really, truly enjoyed meeting with you, or meeting you. And, now that I'm thinking about it, I work with salons and spas, and that's why I'm here this weekend. And many of the spas we work with might be open to essential oils. So I always customize the approach. I don't have a script. I don't say the same thing. I never do the same thing twice. It's really just, I ask questions because it gives me time to like formulate how to move forward. But I get nervous about what to say. And I think everybody does, especially new people. They always say like, what do you say? How do you do it? What's the script? It's so hard to teach. That's why experiential learning is always best, but, so I've mastered the art of conversation. And when I was leaving, I just plant a seed for them. Like, I want them to remember me, and I want to add value to them. I don't talk about me or what I'm looking to do, that I'm building my business or I want to expand distribution. I really never say any of that. It's really about, we're a product broker and we're an internet marketing company. We have access to thousands of products across any industry you could possibly think of. And you know, today is a good example of building your network within this company. You don't have to be financially connected to people to use them as a third-party person. So, you know, I might start thinking about like, oh, I know Brandy Murphy loves essential oils. So I'm like thinking of her, and I might say, oh, I have a girlfriend that works with a lot of health professionals that loves essential oils, you know. And anyway, then I just ask for her information. Hey, I need to run and meet some friends for dinner, but I'd love to follow up with you. And maybe there's some, you know, referring a business we can do back and forth or whatever. And then I just collect the information, and then I'll follow up. And, you know, it's kind of a cliche. Sometimes if I get nervous. I don't really like being like, I don't like being the one leading. I'm honestly more of like a follower. So, but then I just followed up and I said, hey, I'm cleaning out my office, which I've said that before, but this time it was actually true. I'm cleaning out my office, and I came across your card, and I remembered meeting you. I really enjoyed meeting you. And, you know, my husband and I, you know, we build a business together as well. And so there may be some really cool things that we can chat about. And she immediately, I kept it very basic, like 3 sentences, you know, hey, are you interested in meeting on a Zoom? And she said, yeah. So, I mean, I guess, you know, I've also, you know, again, not thinking of a specific approach, but I think when you're a product of the product, and when we're a social business, we're a lifestyle business. So when people come over to my home, a lot of the people that I prospect now through the business are through my kids, you know, because that's where I'm at this point in my life. So they may come over, and a lot of times just through the what's that, right? People will look around at your product and ask you, and I'm guys, less is more. Oh, you know, we own a product brokerage company. Done. Stop talking, you know? And like, you know, just kind of, Don will tease because it takes me a really long time to convert somebody into a partner. Whereas, you know, Don gets more to the point. He's more, he's very good with the evaluation approach and moving quickly, getting to people's people. And I guess I do that, but it's in a different natural and organic way. A lot of times it's through a product approach. Like if I have a customer and then they refer me to someone, because I'm always incentivizing my customers to refer me to a new customer, and I'll gift them product. Once they start doing that, they're kind of building the business, right? And then of course we're adding more product to them. So if they start with custom blend, then I'm going to talk to them about skincare. Then I'm going to talk to them about beauty from the inside out. And then more often than not, people approach me and they say, okay, like I'm using all this product. How it doesn't look that difficult to do what you're doing. Can I do it too? Or just by living the life, and being, you know, I don't put all my dirty laundry on Facebook, but I try to keep it real. Like it's not all fluff, you know, it's not all like life is glorious all the time, because I want to be relatable and I want to empower people, and I don't want to make people feel bad about themselves. I can't stand when people are on social media and they make everything look picture perfect. All that does is make everybody else feel like there's something wrong with them. So there's a fine balance between being real, but also not being, not burdening other people with your problems. And the reason I'm bringing up that is because so many people have approached me and messaged me on Facebook, and they'll say, listen, I don't know what you do. I don't really understand, like, but I just am drawn to you. I wanted to reach out to you. Like, you know, sometimes I'll get a husband reaching out, like my wife just had a baby and she wants to stay home and it looks like you work from home. Like, is that something she can do? So I think just by being real and being yourself, and take the pressure off about what the result is, and just fall in love with the process, like JR says. And just be, I think when you have the right intentions and you're sincere, people can't take you the wrong way, you know? So I don't know, I guess to answer the question as far as approaches, it's really being a product of the product, because that's going to open up conversation. And then just being present. Like when I love traveling, and when I would travel, even through the airports, my phone, you guys that know me, I'm like not really that about my phone. So I don't have my face in my phone. I'm constantly looking around. I'm making eye contact. I'm smiling at people. If I sit down, I might strike up a conversation. Think about things that you have in common, like, oh, your kid's so cute, or, you know, oh my gosh, you look so nice. You look like, are you traveling for business? You know, it's just really about opening up the conversation, because I'm big on pre-qualifying who I even approach. Like,
if someone is, you can learn how to kind of read people so that if you're engaging in a conversation and you can tell their authenticity, whether like they're just, you know, a kind person and they have a nice warm aura, or if they're like all about themselves or whatever. So I may not even ask for their info or make a connection. But it's a numbers game, right? So I think if you just get in the habit of making that part of your, this business is lifestyle. So if you emulate that in your day-to-day goings on, then you're filling your funnel just by making a new friend, really, you know, and it's a timing thing, and you may follow up with them right away, you may not. I'm not a fan of, I don't give out my card. I do have cards, but I don't want people digging in and saying, oh, motives, and then they go down this whole rabbit hole on Google about whatever, you know what I mean? So I like to kind of be in control of the process, and it takes longer, I guess, because I kind of am building a friendship first, and they're trying products a lot of time first. But then the plus is when they do come around and they become a partner and they do evaluate the business side of things, they've already done the business. They've already given referrals. They already love the product. So auto ship's no issue for them. Leading to people and introducing you to people is no problem. So just takes a little longer.
Right? No, that's right. I appreciate it. Thanks, baby. And that's so good. So guys, we have a separate approach. And what you'll notice is Lisa's a product first person and the relationship first by using the product. And here's a neat thing for all of you married couples out there. It doesn't have to be the same. Lisa and I come from a completely different place when it comes down to approaching people from a business. She's product, relationship building from a product perspective. I'm a relationship builder from a business perspective, though. And here's my quick introduction. And Lisa, that was chock full with information, which was great. But mine's simple and straightforward. My thing is this: I reach out to people that I already have built relationships with, and I'm constantly building new relationships, but I reach out to people right now in this situation, and I say, listen, I was wondering if you would do me a quick favor and sit with me for a little while. I have some solutions to offer people that they need right now, whether it be from a health and wellness perspective, whether it be from keeping their household safe and clean, or whether it be from a business and income generating standpoint. I have a way to help people right now in the current situation that they're at. And I'd like you to sit down with me for about 30 minutes or so to evaluate what I'm doing, because you know people who need what I have right now. And I just like you to send them my way so I can help them when the opportunity comes. Would you mind doing that for me? And that's it. That's my positioning right now. I have a way to help you, or help anyone. Really, I don't even say them. I say I have a way to help people right now in many different facets that they need more help now than they've had in a long time. And I just want to put it out there as far and wide as I can, so when the people out there need what I have, they can be led to me and I can help them. I'm coming from a place of service. And that's my approach. And really, that has been completely so powerful moving forward. So that's good stuff. All right, so I want to do this, and thank you guys all. That was so great, so much great information across the board. I have a couple more questions I want to get through here, but one of them is this, and I want this quick, guys, quick to the point, minute and a half. How do you show the plan? What's your favorite way to show the plan now, and then obviously when we're back to normal? So Tom, can you start that? Tom Pasek. Just real quick, less than a minute each, guys. Your favorite way to show the plan now. What are you doing now? What are you using? PowerPoint, first part, second part. Like, what are you doing from a plan showing perspective right now? And then how do you do it when we're back to normal? Go ahead, Tom. Pasternak.
Okay, cool. I found Ahmed, who's on here tonight, in the bank. He's my banker, okay? And we had to go. We had one coffee meeting, then we went to Zoom. And I said, okay, well, get somebody on the Zoom. It's so easy to get someone on the Zoom. So all of a sudden he connected me to Eric in New York, who's on here. He connects me to Eugene, who's in the UK. Eugene's already activated. This all transpired. We've brought 4 people on in the space of 3 weeks now. And we have 5 new partners. And so Zoom is so wonderful. So we're saying one thing on the Zoom. We show about the first half of the plan, okay, up until the 2 to 3 year plan. And then we tell them, and then we ask them, I think you can run this whole business on 2 lines. I think I might be able to help you, which means you ask some questions. And then what did you like best? Whatever they say is what you like best. That's my favorite part. And But we tell them, we inserted, since Zoom started, the only way to qualify to get on this team is you have to bring people to the team. And Eugene, who's on here today, he said, can we have this every day? I went, okay. So we have a standing 11 o'clock every single morning, 4 o'clock UK time. And we've had 15 or 20 or 30 people on there. We just keep bringing people, and we ask them, well, how do you qualify to get on this team? You have to bring people to this Zoom. And everybody's home. This is a wonderful time to build this business.
Yeah.
So it's not, you don't have to drive anywhere. Who said it earlier? You don't even have to go to the coffee shop. Okay.
Yeah.
And if they come back.
And Tom, you're going to the PowerPoint. Is that right? You're going to the PowerPoint
Yeah, we go through the UK PowerPoint, the first half of it. We don't get to the boxes yet. We don't get, and then if they come back tomorrow, which is the great time for the follow-up, we'll be here tomorrow. And the people who come, it just sub-sorts out. So Jackie, who's on here, she's a guest. She's been to like 5 of these right now. We had her showing the plan last week. She's not a partner yet.
I love it. That's great. Thanks, Tom. How about you, Colin?
You know, again, I'm always coming from a place of, can I share what I've learned, no matter who it is? And so in order for me to do that, in order for me to share with you some things I've learned, would it be okay if I ask you a few questions first, just so I can cut to the chase on wherever I need to go, what information I want to share with you about where we're going? Because I don't know if I'm going to go product or division specific. Well, I don't know if like the person's been in, XYZ company. Follow up yesterday for an unfranchised owner who, got me on a follow-up phone call with the person, or Zoom, I should say. And within 5 minutes, I find out that, his wife's in Arbonne and his mom's in Herbalife, and the distributor who led to the person has had 3 meetings with them and no clue about any of that. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, how do you not know about, like, you got to ask some more questions. And so since I knew that, Don, I've got like different things up in my background so I can share my screen on what I want to share. And so I have the plan, the abbreviated plan up in a PowerPoint. I've got horizontal vertical up, in a PDF. I've got MLM versus binomial up in a PDF, so I can click on whatever I need to click on. I can take out my pen. I can write on my screen. I can cut to the chase. I was talking yesterday, showing the plan to a guy named Giovanni, Pri America, 4 years. And so him and I were pretty direct with each other, having fun. We connected real quick. So I was able to look right at him, Don, and say, so let me ask you a question. When you picked Pri America, how many companies had you evaluated prior to picking that one? I'm just curious, how you came to the conclusion that you thought that one was the best? Not that it's not, I'm just curious, So then he has to tell me how he came to that conclusion. And it was financial services product. And I said, let me ask you a question. So he talked for a while. And then I'd say, can I ask you another question? Sure, yeah. And I'm like, hey, when I got introduced to Pri America, prior to picking, Market America, you had to build 60 wide in 6 months to get to 6 figures. Is it still the same? And he's like, yeah, that sounds pretty accurate. And then I talked about how JR created what we did. We had 35 legs. He had qualifying with Amway to pay him $50,000 in a month. But the problem is everybody's in competition. So you stack them vertically. So I had to share some stories because that fit him. If I just went right into the PowerPoint with 2 to 3, 45, and all of this, he already knows all that. So I can cut to the chase on some of this in order to catch his attention for him to. So now we've had 3 appointments, you guys, and he's like, wow, this unfranchised sounds fascinating. But I had to cater to him. And this takes practice. All of you can do it. Business is a learnable skill, step by step by step, and leveraging your senior partners, like this other unfranchised owner who got me on the line with this person the other day. So now that unfranchised owner is feeling more comfortable and saying, well, I guess I could have said some of those things. I just thought I had to just go through the presentation. But as everybody's learning on the line here, it's, tonight it's conversation that leads to the presentation sometimes, right?
That.
So you gotta customize sometimes.
Yeah, I love how you have that. I think that's a great thing. I'm actually going to steal that from you, Colin, because I have an abbreviated version that I've used for years, but it has those things in it and I can skip around it. But I love having, the abbreviated plan over here, but then just the horizontal vertical here and some product. That's a great idea because with Zoom, guys, you can go wherever you want. And it's not like they're seeing you shuffle through papers if you were in front of them. So that's actually a big benefit. That's brilliant, Colin. Thank you for that.
Yep.
Yeah. Bonnie, what do you, and I'm not going to go through everybody on all this type of stuff, but Bonnie, what do you do from a plan showing perspective? Then I have another question for Tom K and Big Al. But what do you do from a plan, show with a plan perspective right now? How are you showing the plan? Is it PowerPoint? Is it like what's your, through Zoom and things? Is that what your primary thing is? Or are you using an abbreviated plan? Are you doing part 1, part 2? What are you doing?
Yeah, so I'm sort of paralleling exactly what Cullen said. And what Al said as well. You got to come from a place of heart. People don't care how much you know till they know how much you care. People love to talk about themselves. And what Big Al said, vision, you got to sell the vision. You got to talk about the vision. You know, I've often said sight is what you see with your eyes, vision is what you see with your mind. And this is a very intangible business because it's not a product that you could hold or touch. So what I learned 25 years ago, what I learned, which is what a lot of us did in the beginning, but found that it really wasn't very duplicatable, was show the plan, show the plan, show the plan. And then I woke up and realized, you know, I'm done wasting an hour or so showing the plan. Most people don't even get involved in the business because of the plan. They get involved in the business because of the relationship they built with you. They trust you, they respect you. And I heard a beautiful, beautiful statement that I stole a couple of months ago, but they say after you steal and you use it 3 times, it's yours. If you want to build a residual ongoing income, build residual relationships. You have to really care about that person, have the conversation. So yes, I'm using Zoom. I am using Zoom, definitely. And it's business as usual, home-based business as usual. Using Zoom, business as usual. We've used Zoom for the last, few years. But prior to Zoom, I was doing 3-way calling. I was using the phone, picking up the phone. And my conversation now is still the same as before. We get on a social Zoom. We invite people on because I think Lisa said it and so many of you said it, because of the isolation going on, because people are lonely. They're thrilled to get on Zoom to socialize. I'll say, bring your wine, bring your coffee, bring your tea, bring your bottled water. We're just going to sit back. And what we're going to do is we're going to give you a little information about who we are, what we're not, what we do, how we work, type of people we look for. And we would love for you to just listen, love for you to evaluate it, because you just might know the right people that are looking for what we have to offer. So the conversation starts with, what we're going to, I welcome everybody. Thank you all for coming. It's not about the marketing plan. I want to spend maybe 20 minutes with them. That's it. Enough to get them to say, that's not enough, but I'm interested. I want to book the next appointment, because it's always about that next appointment, taking them through the journey of introducing. You cannot give them everything all at once, even in an hour. And while we're doing that, continually asking questions. But I lay the groundwork. I lay the platform, and I let them know. So the way this is going to work, thank you so much for getting on the call with me or on Zoom with me, Cullen. Thank you all. I'm going to give you a little bit of, if I'm moderating it, I'm going to give you a little information about me, tell you what excited me, just a little bit of info. Going to give you a little bit of information about the company, how we work, who we are, what we do, what we're not. You're not going to see the actuarials or the algorithms. We're going to get to hear from you too. Love to hear why you're on the call today. Love to hear from you and maybe your background. And you're going to hear from a lot of my friends and business partners that are on Zoom with me as well. They're going to also give you some information on why they're excited. In other words, we're going to do, well, Elizabeth coined this 20 some odd years ago when she introduced us to this. It's called the overview interview process. Right. You're interviewing them, they're interviewing you, and it's a mutual admiration of what's going to happen at the next step.
I love it. Thank you, Bonnie. Appreciate it. All right. This is awesome, guys. If you guys are loving this, pop another thumbs up, man. Let's keep some interaction going in that text chat. Great information from you, you three there. It was phenomenal. It's so good. Big Al, I want you to say something. I want Tom and Kay to back up on this. Big Al, in the UK, they have a lot of network marketing participation. In fact, their rate of participation in the home-based network marketing world is higher in the UK in terms of percentage participation rate than America. So that, I believe, opens up a tremendously phenomenal opportunity for us, because we have so many things that make this a solution to the challenges that people have had from the experience in that industry. Can you tell people maybe 3 of the 4 quick tips on what you say to people, because you are like the horizontal versus vertical king, right? What you say to people that makes us different, short and sweet, so they know how to address that when they're talking to people that might think or have a preconceived notion that we are one of those things? How can we help people and differentiate us, Big Al?
Well, the first thing you got to, like people are saying, you got to have a conversation, not presentation. The presentation will come later once you get enough information. But I interview people to get as much information about them, and then basically what I've been doing now. I mean, you think about this. For 24 years, Frank Kiefer always said, if you can't show everything, don't show anything. And I did that for 24 years, and it worked. But where I've changed now, I don't even show the whole plan anymore. And what I'm doing in my plan now, I do this not at a UBP, but I do this in my Zooms, is when I do step one up to the 45 versus 2 to 3. Of course, the very first thing I use, my first 4 pages is horizontal versus vertical, how JR capped his own income. And then I go into what marketamericanshop.com is about. And then talking about the vision, talking about a revolutionary, and then I'll talk about how revolutionary QVC and home shopping was, how revolutionary McDonald's was with franchising. And I say our revolutionary concept is technology. And then I go right to the page of the newspaper article that JR was quoted in the New Jersey Herald back in 1994, where he sold a vision on 4 different slides of where the technology was going to go, where the internet was going to go, where the computer was going to be a commonplace. And I circle every time I show the plan. I'm always using my mouse. Walk along with them, using your mouse when you're talking, not just talking, but when you're on a Zoom, use your mouse to go over what you're saying. But I talk about, look at this article, 1984. Our company didn't start till 1992. And then I talk about the vision, talk about the concepts. But I said, JR got all the mathematics, went out and found a computer expert, Stephen Ritchie, a computer expert, Stephen technology. He took those figures from DSA, not what JR wanted, but DSA said the average person could do. And I talk about that because what I'm trying to do in the first appointment is to set up the concepts of how the company was developing on an idea in 1984. The math come later, and still the company was not around. And then the company started in 1992 with 3 products that didn't last long. So I'm setting the table there to sell the vision that what person do you know in your lifetime that would start a company and cap his income? JR is a visionary, but more importantly, being on top of a visionary, he's a genius, man. And then on top of being a genius, he left his ego and greed outside the door and said, you know what, I'm going to cap my income because the average person at that time could live off $2,100 a week. So again, I get them engaged. Okay, Don, who do you know that would start a company and cap their income? None. Nobody can say. I mean, so we have the cookie. We have, as Elizabeth says, the bakery. You just got to buy into the concepts. You got to sell the vision, sell the idea where the company is 30 freaking years later. And technology is now just catching up to JR's vision. So again, that's just, I blow people away with that. And it's all because I'm selling the vision. And then step 1 to step 5 is the second appointment. I never show it right then and there. I don't care if they want to see it. And then anybody can show step 1 to step 5 because now they're engaged. Okay, now I'm going to pay attention to this guy. So
absolutely. I love that, man. Good stuff. Appreciate that, Big Al. It was awesome. Full. Tom and Kay, I have a question for you. Colin actually just made a great point in the chat, and I was going to ask you guys a question in regards to this because during the Mideast regional thing, I love what you said. When you guys are doing those first meetings, right, and they're on Zoom right now, Tom and Kay, right? I know you guys want to make sure you limit them to certain numbers of people. Can you tell me why you say you don't want any more than 2, 3, 4 people at a time? Why do you do that on Zoom? Like, what are the things you do on Zoom that helps you become more engaged?
Right. Go ahead.
Well, what we do on Zoom really, is to, on Zoom in the beginning, really we want to find the bio of the person and get to know the person. And we limit, our Zooms to maybe I would say less than 5, to really be able to connect with each of them and not just have 30, 40 people on and then you don't even know who you spoke to and talked to. So, on Zoom, we're still building that relationship. We try to limit to 5. And the best thing about Zoom is that, you can do maybe 10, 20 of them per day, but we don't put too many people on one. This way we lose connection with them. And we do the abbreviated version. And really, I had a conversation with Tom. I said, man, we just had to get used to Zoom, but this is really the best thing that have happened to us, because now the moms doesn't have to find a babysitter to go somewhere, meet someone for coffee. They can do it at the comfort of their own home and anytime, anywhere. It just doesn't matter. And it takes 30 minutes to, get the plan out there. And also, you have to understand that people buy you, and most people do not understand the plan the first time, or the second time. It takes different, many different times of seeing it, but, always, really find out their why and know where you're going, and people will buy you before they buy the plan.
Yeah, I think it's important that when you have conversations with people on Zoom, that you take the time to connect with them. The small chat up front, right? So I like to call it the upfront conversation, is really the nugget. That's where you win, right? When people have felt needs, oh man, they're asking me about myself. You can pull them into that conversation so it becomes more personal. I've been on so many Zooms where it's about, that person talking and it's like, wah, 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 wah. After 30, 45 minutes, it all becomes monotonous. But if we take the time up front and develop that relationship, people will hop on to part 2. People will hop on to the second one and listen to the full presentation. We don't I think the biggest mistake that I've made looking back over 23 years is I was so in a hurry to get the presentation in front of people. I really didn't care if they said yes or no. It was like, yeah, man, yeah, baby, I showed the plan, yeah, and it's kind of like that. I don't know, it was crazy, I was like, yeah, I showed you the plan, man, now what, And so believing in your product, to where you can be willing to take it outside with somebody. And what I mean by that is, you can believe the truth that we have the cookie, as Bonnie Philo would say. We got the cookie, baby, right? So, and we do, because we have the best means of distribution through vertical marketing, and understanding that especially in the UK, right? We have something so unique nobody else has with Market UK, that if you're sitting down with somebody in network marketing, just be honest and upfront with them. Say, hey, look, I know you are involved in a network marketing company. Let's do this. Let's sit down and compare notes and see where we're at. I'll look at your business, you look at my business. So many times I hear people go, oh man, I don't want to look at their business. Nobody. Well, that's how I educated myself. And believe it or not, that's where I built my belief on that we have the strongest company. Because some of these comp plans I'd sit down and look at, and I'm like, man, I know I'm not a highly educated person, but man, you got to be a real blankety blank 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 to even think that thing's going to work. Or their product, they're selling mothballs that smell like roses. I don't know, but it always goes back to a product. Well, our product, I'm like, man, dude, just take your product out of the equation. Let's look at how we get paid. And so spend time developing relationships, asking questions. I think that you'll get huge results.
I love it. Now, I have one more question for everybody. I'm just going to start with you, Tom, and then we're going to wrap this up, guys, because it's been a great day. If you're loving the day, give me another thumbs up. Come on, keep interacting. Keep these guys some love. This guy's been brilliant. So pop that chat, blow that chat up, guys. Tom, when you and Kay are showing the plan, what do you say right after you're done showing the plan to get that follow-up, either to get the next appointment with them or to get them to lead the people? How do you do that?
Based on the information that you received, is there anything that would keep you from getting more information?
Love it. Perfect. How about you, Kay?
You know, I really moved them into the next Zoom event now. You know, my goal is not to get you started right this second. My goal, you know, is to find out if this is the right fit for you. And the only way to find out is, you know, to get you more information, you know, whether it is a wellness event on Zoom, getting to know more of the product, trying some of the products. So to always move them into the next step until they're ready to get started.
I love that. Thank you, Kay. How about you, Bonnie? What do you say at the end? That was so good. What do you say at the end of the presentation? And by the way, Tom and Kay, thank you so much for being on. Love y'all. And be safe and travel safe. Love you guys.
Thank you.
You got it. Bonnie, what do you say at the end of your business plan to get your follow-up book, to get people leading to people?
So, what did you like best about what you just saw? Did you like the ability of, you know, getting the products at cost? Did you like the ability and the vision of expanding your business? Did you like the business plan? What did you like best? And then I give them a choice, because, you know, even then people, it's so funny because people tend to be non-confrontational. People sometimes are so overwhelmed, especially now, it's tough for them to make a choice. So I'll say, so, you know, something on a scale of like 1 to 3. 1 being, you know, let me think about it, get me out of here now, you know, but thank you so much. 2 being, it sounds really, really interesting. And 3 being, what would prevent me from getting started with a trial run? I'd love to put this in front of a couple of people. Can you do a Zoom call for me again, Bonnie? And, you know, let's get this going and see what, you know, your sphere of influence and your peeps think of it. Where do you fall right now? Either way, I win. Dawn, either way I win. If it's a 1, get me out of here now, great. Some will, some won't, so what? Someone's waiting somewhere, next, okay? But I'll put them on my follow-up list because timing could be right in 3 months. And I asked their permission to do that. 2, love information on product. Great, we love customers. You know, not everyone is gonna own an unfranchised. Just because you buy a McDonald's franchise doesn't mean, just because you love the McDonald's burger doesn't mean you're gonna buy the franchise. So we love customers. Would you like to take that next step? Or we're certainly looking for partners and you might know the right people. Would you like to do another Zoom? And they're always coming back with either a 1, a 2, or a 3, and it's normally a 2 or a 3. So needless to say, I just booked that next appointment.
Fantastic. Thank you for that, Bonnie. Thank you for being on. Much appreciated. Love you, sister. Good work. Thank you. Let me go to Big Al, man. What do you do to book your follow-up and get people leading to people as we wrap up this last session here? And guys, I appreciate all your patience. You know, today what got so good, we had people on a roll. I don't want to cut anybody off. Yeah, we went 20, 30 minutes longer, but so what? We're good. And I appreciate you guys still. You guys are the real deal. You're the missionaries in the model. You guys are here. You're the visionaries. I'm sorry. And you're all still with us. So go ahead, Al. What do you say at the end to get that follow-up book, brother, and get them leading to people or whatever?
Well, just what the last page of my part 1 says, 45 versus 2 to 3. Do you pick the 45 or 2 to 3? And if they say 2 to 3, I book the follow-up within 24 hours to show it to them again. And it's that simple. If they choose the 45-year plan, it ain't for them. Don't make this complicated. If they pick the 2 to 3 year plan, when can we get back and see it again?
Yeah. What do you say after the 2 to 3, Al, to get them to lead the people? How do you convert people, getting people leading to people after the second part?
Well, I put a piece of paper in front of them and said, if anybody comes to mind, whether it's the product or the business, I want you to jot their names down, because a lot of people think of people, but then they, you know, forget about them. They lost their mind, you know. So, you know, you get them thinking. So when you get to step 4, activate, you know, this is all based on activation for the average person. That's what JR found out through the math from the DSA. And I'm sure you probably know 2 to 4 people that are looking. And who would you put in these boxes? So then I have them write their names down. Plus I'm getting their names. And they tell me they're 2 people. Then I write their names down and then I go back to them on my next appointment.
Love that. Al, thank you for getting on, bro. Great stuff. Much appreciated, Big Al. Appreciate you, brother. Tom Pasternak, give us a little love, and we'll have Cullen wrap us up. So go ahead, Tom.
All right. Assuming that we've not committed malpractice and found out something, actually, at the point, we're getting to the point now saying the purpose of this first meeting is to see if we can work together as a team to get you what you want. You should leave this meeting feeling these people might help me get what I want. They don't understand the plan anyway. They only cared that you might have cared about them. And we started just telling them that. So, and then we go to JR's mechanics. Listen, it makes sense for us to see. We'll need you to see this 3 times. Does that make sense? In the first 2 minutes after we spend time talking to them. At the end of the first section, whenever you're finished, you say, I mean, this is what I say every time. Does it make sense? After they said what they like best, they say something. What did you like best? That's the second line. You can run the whole business on 2 lines. What did you like best? Yeah, that's great. Does it make sense that we continue this conversation to tomorrow? Now, they just said it made sense at the beginning, and you get a very positive answer. And since Eugene has decided we're going to run this every day, tomorrow is only 24 hours from now. And so they either come back or they don't. We always have people on this thing. And in the middle, we tell them the way to qualify to get on this team with 7 or 8 people on the screen. And I'll ask somebody, how do we qualify? They say, well, you got to bring people here. This is what I didn't do before, which is working now. Oh, you have to bring people. That's all they know. So that's what we're doing.
So we just qualify for being on a team by doing it. And I love that. Does it make sense to continue this conversation? Very simple. Got some of the best, most brilliant questions. I simply say, from what you, just like you, Tom, from what you saw so far, do you see something here worth looking into further for either someone you know or maybe even yourself?
Oh, even better. Yeah.
So, I mean, everybody has their own thing. Your simplicity is great. So that's mine. And I just want to throw it. I'm going to let Cullen wrap it up. And then I have one more thing to share with you guys when it comes out to our next event, and a little bit of vision to end up with, like literally 2 minutes after Cullen's done, and then we'll be through. Cullen, wrap us up in terms of this last question. What do you do to get the follow-up book, get people leading to people?
So I ask them, you know, did I spark enough interest? And do you see yourself as somebody who wants to be on a championship winning team? Do you see yourself as somebody who wants to collaborate and work with a progressive group of people by choosing the 2 to 3 year plan? Because if not, that's fine. Just know you're a full-fledged volunteer of that 45-year plan and someone who gives a rat's hiney about what everybody thinks about you for the rest of your life, who isn't going to freaking help pay your bills on Friday. So you tell me, you want to be on a championship team or you want to keep worrying about what everybody else thinks about you? No, that's a little bit strong. That's a little bit strong, but that's what I'm thinking. You know, it kind of depends the person, right? I mean, that's a little strong, but you got to have fun. So that's the point of this, you guys.
I love it.
You got to have fun with people, and you got to be bold sometimes. And setting the vision on the championship team that we're building is way bigger than me just being like, I'm going to help that person, just me and you. It's like they buy into the team aspect because it's less pressure on them to think they got to do things by themselves. And then when they're thinking of other people who want to be building a championship team together, now we're going to get them to lead us to people. And how fast can you get me in front of the sharpest person you know? You know, and I'm always going after the sharpest people they know because they're thinking, well, they want to get my broke friend in it. You know, and although, hey, if the broke friend, financially speaking, is not broke mentally, we probably do want that person on the team. See, I was broke financially speaking, but mentally, I was a millionaire. I was already rich, right? So in the end, you got to figure out who they are, but segue it into how fast somebody will lead you to somebody tomorrow. Other people are going to need some time, depending upon their personality type. And that's why it's never a perfect scenario of, hey, this is the ABC pattern as JR explains it from stage. And people go, well, I 8 people interested, but nobody's moving that fast. But person number 9, that person leads you to people today, man. They trust faster. So that's what we're trying. Path of least resistance, because we know how fast we want to go, but then we'll back off if they want to go a little slower, see? Right. So that's what I would do.
I love that, Cullen. Thank you so much. And thank you for being on. And Tom, thank you for being on. And so powerful, such great information. I hope you guys love this because you're talking about tens of millions of pounds and dollars of earnings by all the collective panelists and tens of millions of pounds of earnings coming for the emerging leaders. What an incredible day. Let me wrap up the day real quick. I got a couple promos to do for what's going on. and just empower you guys to know what's coming. But I think the biggest thing is you, right? Making this happen by you leading the way, guys. What is the answer? How do you do this? And that's about having a strategy and having a team. What you noticed that everybody said today is they were a part of a team. And I want to throw something out to you. Not only are you guys a part of a team building the UK, but you're part of a team building your business, not only in the UK, but across America. For those of you that are in the US, not only building your business across the US, but also in the UK. How would you guys like to take your income cap and make your income cap go from 3,600 US a week, or what's the new one, Samira? What's the updated UK? Is a
2,760 quid.
760 pounds a week from what used to be 2,040, now 2,760 pounds a week. You could double that just by getting a team in the US. So and same thing for US to UK. Get that cap double. Instead of 3,600 a week in the US, it's 6,600 a week. If you start building in America from the UK, you take that 2,700 and make it close to 5,000 pounds a week just by having a team internationally. And you guys met each other today to be able to do the same thing. Find people in each other's towns, and we'll teach you how to do that. But going forward, making it happen, it's about unification, cross-pollinating, and working together from all the people that you know. Grow your business worldwide by developing relationships with your social networks through everybody that was on this, and that's what it's all about. Just two last things I want to share. Number one, make sure you're all a part of this Facebook group, the USA UK Shop.com Collaboration and Power Networking. This is a place where you can plug yourself and all your people in to be able to help identify people that you can plug your prospects in the different countries. This allows you to build your business internationally without having to go there and really synergize through this group. So that's a group y'all want to be a part of. Make sure you become a member and connect with all the leaders that you met today. Have those conversations. Build those strategic partnerships so you can have business going, and we all can take our businesses to greater levels than ever before because of that. Now, I'm going to challenge every single one of you that are on here to make a commitment. It's all about a call to action. Two things I want you to do going forward. Number one, commit to a 90-day all-in Becoming a Hopeless Success Blitz team. You're going to see that launched out in the next day or two. Get on one and go all in for 90 days from what you learned today. You learned enough today from all the leaders to take your business to an epic level and break records in the UK and across the US if you're in the US. I challenge you to get on a Blitz team. You'll see some announcements within the next day to be on one. If you might be on one already, if you are, keep going. If you're not, we're going to make sure there's some available to you to keep going. So get yourself committed to 90 days from now on in terms of that. And then the second thing I'm going to encourage you guys to do is get to the next event. We build this a business event to event. Yes, the national conference is going to be in November. You'll see the National Conference Challenge come out too. Tomorrow. You'll see the updated national challenge from now till November coming out. But the next event you guys have across the UK is a local seminar with my good friend Charles Bear. He is an executive director in pounds, 21,000 to 30,400 in a 4-week cycle. Phenomenal trainer. He has all type of background of financial services. Listen, he's got a sense of humor that I sometimes think he's from the UK. He has a British humor for sure. You guys are going to love Charles. And it's going to be online via Zoom. Reach out to Samira, Simon Aliska, and the rest of the team to find out. And you can simply go to gmtssukSouth@gmail.com. You can also go to marketukevent.com without an S at the end, marketukevent.com. And I'm sure she has details on that going forward for that. So that's what I have here. Just remember, guys, you guys are now pioneers. You are leading the way. You are the newest market in the entire global market America family. And who better to break the 4-minute mile than a British person himself, Sir Roger Bannister. You guys can do it in the UK, and it's going to be, a few of you are going to break records, and you're going to set a pace that no one thought that was possible in the UK, just like people did in America, Taiwan, Hong Kong, every other market we have. And this is your shot This is your shot to build a legacy. This is your shot to lead from the front, to challenge people to go out and make it happen. And I challenge you to be the Roger Bannister of that market. You and the rest of your team, lead from the front. If you enjoyed today, pop everybody some love in the chat. Tell us what you liked most in the chat. And I want to thank you guys for being on. And kudos to all of our speakers. So let me just go through all of our speakers one last time and give you guys a shout out and a thank you. And just give them love in the chat, guys. Don't stop, man. Let me see all the love in the chat. We had, here we go, on our first UK Emerging Leaders panel here. We had Simon Aliska Wilcox, Rockin' and Rollin', Samira Killingbeck. Thank you all so much. Veronica Krepka, man, wow. So powerful, sister. Great job. Marcia and Larry Samuels and Krishna and Joanna. Great job to you guys. Thank you from the emergency. You guys are leading the way for sure. Next, we had our retail and product panel. Sharon Lawrence, Becca Mousley, Keelan Chow, or Lane, Maleva Epperson, Vina Hudgens. An incredible job on that. Love y'all. Thank you so much. Great information about our product and services. And then our last panel, of course, was our international business panel. We had Colin Haskins. Awesome job, Colin. Big Al, thank you so much. Bonnie Philo, Tom Holden, Kazu, Lisa Martin, Tom Pasternak. Appreciate you guys so much. And man, I couldn't have asked for a better day. And I appreciate you guys so much. So thank you all. And have a great day. Go out and build your business. Let's break some records. We'll see you at the next event, at the local seminar online, and then the next live event, hopefully, National Conference November. Thank you guys so much. Have a great.
Thank you, Don.
Excellent job, Don. Excellent job, brother.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Guys,
Good job, Don.
Thank you very much, Don. Thank you, guys.
For Rupert can do it, anybody
Thank you.
can.
Thanks,
Gives you
everyone,
help.
for coming.
Thank you, America.
Thank you.
It's gonna get noisy.
Thank you, UK.
Gonna get
Yeah.
crazy.
Thanks, Sam. Thanks, Aliska. Thanks,
You're
Simon.
welcome,
Take
guys.
care. Bye.
Hugs and
Thank you.
kisses. Bye.
There you go.
All participants
Larry,
unmuted.
what's up, bro? What's up, Larry?
All right, Don, you take care.
Thank you all. Great job.
Stay safe and well,
Bye,
guys.
thank you.
Okay.
Stay safe.
Ah.